Patriots are in control. Iran is crying and begging for a new deal. Please come back to the table after we bombed you. The Donald is basically making sure we're getting all of the things. Supreme Court actually finally voted for some things in our favor and some things that are insane, actually, like colossal L in the Supreme Court. We have to talk about it. We got libtards crashing out. We got unbelievable developments everywhere. Woke people literally flying into the sun and wondering why it's hot up there. Truly a glorious time to not be gay. It's a great time to be straight. Heterosexuality has never been this back. So, locked in, the White House said, Patriots in control. We are cooking. Breaking news. Iran carried out strikes on U.S. bases in Bahrain in retaliation for U.S. strikes against the Iranian city of Sirik. Again, this is Iranian media always trying to frame it. It's like, oh, Iran was just responding. If anyone's been paying attention, actually, for those of you unaware, Iran bombed some ships in the Strait of Hormuz, and then we decided we were going to level their entire port city. That's just what happens, actually. It's because we're a lot stronger, we're better, we're superior, you're inferior. You suckle on our teats for relevance, and unfortunately for you, the teats are out of milk. That was a weird metaphor. So then we obliterated them, and then they bombed our bases. Then we obliterated them again. They really thought that we were just gonna kind of lay off. They're like, oh, Trump wants Trump. I'm looking at the Democrats. The Democrats are telling Trump that he should end the war, and Tucker Carlson is telling Trump he should end the war. So he's under a lot of pressure from idiots on the inside that are pro-terrorism, like the left. So therefore, we're just gonna basically be able to push him and prove that we're superior. That didn't work at all. Iranian state media kept trying to make believe they were epic and stated Iran has no option but to pursue an atomic bomb to remove the military option from the table. That's bad. That's really bad, obviously, for Iran, because that means they're all going to die because Trump is not going to let them get a nuclear bomb. But again, they need to puff their chest out because they were so utterly humiliated. They need to puff their chest out and make it look like they're not complete morons. And, of course, the Donald responded, United States aircraft just struck Iranian missile and drone storage locations, coastal radar sites for violating the ceasefire agreement. Again, it is very possible that they will never learn. There may come a time where we are no longer able to be reasonable and be forced to militarily complete the job we very successfully started. Happy Pride Month. We will be raping the Ayatollahs. If that happens, the Islamic Republic of Iran will no longer exist. We will impregnate the Ayatollahs with our missiles. It will be a beautiful Pride Month. That's what the Donald tweeted. And, of course, breaking negotiation between the U.S. and Islamic Republic have been canceled. So, obviously, Iran is like, oh, wait a second. wait, is he actually going to kill us if we just keep effing around? If we keep bombing their stuff, is the Donald actually just going to, kill us? That's bad. We don't want to die. And, of course, immediately, U.S. says it will not release the frozen Iranian funds without progress on a nuclear deal either. And Iran decides, oh, my God, I'm sorry. This is getting bad. Breaking news. Donald Trump posted that crude oil is down to $69 a barrel and heading down less than it was before the denuclearization of Iran. Bro, I love that he does this. I love that he does this. So yes, very nice. And actually, currently, everyone's crying about the economy. The economy's literally the strongest it's been in years. And of course, they're really mad about it. So Iran, realizing that they are out of leverage because oil is down, we are seriously going to blow them up, and they are crying a lot. All of a sudden, Iran has requested a meeting. It will take place tomorrow in Doha. So the meeting will take place tomorrow in Qatar. Do I know what will happen? No. I am just like Mohammed. I am not a prophet. So I have no idea what will happen. But the reality is these guys are getting absolutely obliterated. Obliterated militarily, economically, and just thoroughly humiliated every possible direction you could find. It's truly incredible stuff. I've never seen something like it in my life. Now, Israel's defense minister, Katz, on Iran, he stated, I have instructed the IDF to prepare for Operation Blue and White in Iran. Again, we don't know exactly what this means, but we do know that the Islamic regime is cooked. They're going to lose. And listen, I am America first. I believe that we need to do what's best for us. We don't want Iran to have nuclear weapons. We don't want them to close the Strait of Hormuz, obviously. We don't want them to do any of this shit. We don't want them to have a military. We don't want them to be projecting power with their proxies throughout. So over the course of this war, we obliterated their military. We stopped their nuclear capabilities. We're basically cutting them off from their proxies. We'll see what happens, ultimately. And if Israel wants to keep killing terrorists, that's just fucking awesome. W Israel, I guess. Hell yeah, let's do it. And breaking news, Israel all of a sudden decides to recognize the Armenian genocide. So in 2015, for those of you that are unaware, Turkey and Azerbaijan came together to kill over 1 million Armenians. All right, so that's not good. That's not good at all. It's actually pretty horrible. That's a lot of people murdered by Muslims. This is a shock because they're the religion of peace. So literally no one saw this coming. No one saw this coming. Muslims historically have never killed anybody. Anyway, so Israel recognized the Armenian genocide. Angry Muslim noises ensue. Obviously, the Turks are very unhappy about this because they love genociding people. That's what Muslims love doing. It's their favorite thing, I think. Again, I'm not trying to be controversial or anything. I'm just noticing a pattern throughout history. I think Muslims love genociding people. You know, they tried to genocide the Jews on October 7th. Didn't work, and now they found out. But listen, man, I'm just noticing a lot of angry Muslim noises when people stop genocides of Muslims. It's weird. Now, Clash Report. This is such a good call out. After decades of refusing to politicize the events of 1915, Israel is now reversing course. Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar will ask the cabinet to recognize the so-called Armenian genocide. So-called Armenian genocide. 1 million people were killed by Muslims. Now, again, community note, the so-called phrasing questions the genocide label, but the 1915 and 1923 events are recognized as the Armenian genocide by most historians and the International Association of Genocide Scholars. Unlike the pretendicide in Gaza, this was a real genocide that actually happened, that was done intentionally, that was not precipitated by the Armenians starting a war. It was absolutely horrid, an unbelievable atrocity. And interestingly enough, this Clash Report account, based in Turkey, by the way, no one saw this coming, is a big fan of Tucker Carlson. I find that really weird. I personally find it really weird. I did not see this coming at all. I totally did not think that this Turkish account that's literally denying the Armenian genocide is a big fan of Tucker Carlson. That's so strange. But I'm noticing that that's pretty weird. Anyway, Iranian state TV is publishing videos of Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Trader Green. All right, it's almost like they're foreign operatives that are literally existing in our country to tear us apart on some random bullshit, retarded conspiracy theory, so that essentially they could destroy us on the inside. And Anna Kasparian, who is a Armenian, literally a descendant of the Armenian genocide, who is now a slave to the Turk roaches that have massacred her ancestors, is crying about how this random rabbi guy is talking about the Holocaust, and she responds, but you're bombing tents in Gaza. I thought there was a difference between Zionists and Jews. Anna Kasparian, anyway, you might not like that Israel is fighting for you, but Israel is fighting for you, whether you like it or not. All right, so you're bombing tents. Random Rabbi Poopko over here is bombing tents in Gaza, probably. This random rabbi in New York. Yeah, obviously. But it's pretty interesting. I don't think I can actually play this footage. But here are Hamas soldiers literally firing missiles from tents. So it's like, you're bombing tents in Gaza. Let me introduce you to the tents in Gaza, ladies and gentlemen. It's almost like these Islamists are terrorists and really bad people. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. It's a pop quiz. You'd probably like this. How many military bases in Gaza did Hamas have before October 7th? I'm not even talking about since the war. Before October 7th, how many military bases did Hamas have in Gaza? All right, are you ready? Are you locked in? Did you lock your answer into the comment section below? What do you think? There's 2.2 million people in Gaza. How many do you think they have? I have some people in my chat saying 5. I have some people in my chat saying 3. The answer is 0. It's a trick question. They had no military bases in Gaza. They only exclusively fired missiles from civilian neighborhoods. Yeah, I got you on that one. It's because they're terrorists. Yeah, no one saw that one coming. Now, Anna Kasparian is freaking out that the president of Lebanon is trying to make peace with Israel and kill Hezbollah because she loves terrorism, saying, this man is a disgrace. No. I love it. Israel, I consent to a peace deal. Lebanon, I consent to a peace deal. Isn't there someone you forgot to ask? Did you not even ask Anna Kasparian her opinion here? his country is about to be taken over by genocidal thugs, and he's only going after the people fighting against it. No! Why does Lebanon hate Hezbollah, the terrorist organization that destabilized the region, that massacred Christians, and they killed Syrians? Why? Why does he dislike Hezbollah? Isn't there someone you forgot to ask? Now, Anna Kasparian's been having a really, really bad time. So, in regards to the whole video of Hamas terrorists literally shooting missiles from tents, right? Remember why they're bombing tents, right? They're literally firing missiles from tents. Anna Kasparian, leftist, a strong independent woman extraordinaire, states, they're filming themselves doing this? Right. Lady ass Hasbara. That's right. It's Jew propaganda to justify slaughtering civilians. Civilians, by the way. These are the civilians that we are referring to. Just want to make clear. These guys. These are the civilians. Guys literally firing rockets into civilian Israeli cities. These are the civilians that we are referring to. Oh no, they're killing terrorists. Oh. So Anna Kasparian immediately like, oh please, this is fake Jew propaganda. Anyway, community note, yes, actually Hamas did film it. Hamas released the video themselves on October 7th. Wow. On an official Telegram channel. It was republished at the time by sources friendly to Hamas, including the Iranian state media. Wow. No one saw this coming. What a surprise. Literally a shock. You mean terrorists are doing terrorism? I can't believe it. I can't believe it. That's crazy. So a lot of people say that my stances on politics are radical when I say that terrorists should die. That's too bad. Killing terrorists is awesome, actually. Anyway, this is literally Anna Kasparian a couple of years ago, literally talking about how Hamas filmed their own crimes, but she just, I guess, is retarded.
What Hamas is doing right now as we speak is they're sharing videos of the Israeli hostages that they are torturing, including one woman who they basically took captive while she was at that music festival. They broke her legs, and they're sharing videos where they're parading her around naked. That's what they're doing.
Wow. Wow, isn't that crazy? No one saw this coming. Wow. And you think that they deserve to live? Crazy woman. Just a psychotic woman over here. We found one. Ladies and gentlemen, I've located a psychotic woman. Anyway, it's almost like they're terrorists or something. So she knows that they filmed their own crimes. And she's still trying to make believe that it's Jew propaganda. Now, you have other libtards. So this is Glenn Greenwald. He is mostly known for taking it up the ass and accidentally filming it and spreading it around once. That was a pretty disturbing video, stating Israelis are making films about themselves to document how they are the real victims. They're still incinerating Palestinian families in tents. Bro, everyone fucking loves the tent narrative now. The tent narrative is the new thing. Oh my god, but what about the tents? What about the tents? Bro, look, it's Timu Hassan Piker. I was gonna make a joke where I was gonna use the Jewish K slur, but I can't do that, or my video will get nuked out of orbit because YouTube hates me. They found a Jewish Hassan clone, I guess. Anyway, Hassan Piker, except with a K instead of a P. Anyway, Hamas is literally firing rockets from tents, and they do it all the time. Actually, they do it literally all the time. Literally all the time. So, moving on, Israel is bombing tents in Gaza. The tents in Gaza. There is an insane, obscene amount of footage that they film themselves firing rockets from tents. It's unreal. It's actually unreal how retardedly evil these people are, actually. Now, much to everyone's surprise, Azerbaijan, Muslim country that genocided Armenians, has condemned the Israeli government's decision to recognize the Armenian genocide. You cannot make this up. You cannot make this. Not only did the Azerbaijan people and the Turks genocide the Armenians, but they're condemning people for calling it out. That is crazy. Countries which recognize the Armenian genocide. Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Canada, Chile, Mexico, etc. You know, all these guys. Israel, countries which Azerbaijan has condemned. Israel. Man, that's crazy. Because I had a really sneaking suspicion that Muslims actually loved Jews. It turns out, I don't think that's the case. It's weird. It's weird how they keep like raping Jews and raping Christians, and basically they kind of get off because the world doesn't want to talk about it. It's weird how that happens. Now, of course, Sneeko, he's also trying to push his same random shenanigans. Do not look away. Look at this Palestinian child showing resilience. This is AI, obviously. Bro has no feet. Yep. Bro has no feet. This is AI, obviously. Do not look away from the obvious AI image. AI single-handedly one-shot the entire third world. Third world propaganda is just this. It's just so much of this. Getting bajillions of likes from Pakistanis on being like, no, the poor Palestinian child phasing through solid objects. Can you believe the weaponry Israel has utilized to vaporize half his body like that? running with no feet. Anyway, so Sneeko got this guy, this Rabbi Mizrahi. I thought he was a meme. I didn't even know he was a real human. So he got this guy to basically talk about Islam and stuff, because Rabbi Mizrahi has a really wild take that he actually likes Islam more than Christianity, which is a wild take, like a wild take. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, so Sneeko thought that this dude would come on his show and just straight up glaze Islam. It didn't work the way he expected.
All religions that came after Judaism are all fake, for very simple proof. If God wanted to give another religion later on, he would make it in a public event. Why would he come to Muhammad in a desert with no witnesses, nobody saw it, and give him something, or come to Mary in a dream?
There were witnesses. There were witnesses.
No. According to Islam, Muhammad was alone, and angel Jibril gave him the Quran.
And they transcribed it. And also, you said that he can't read or write. So if he wasn't able to read or write, how was he able to create this book? And how was he able to...
Brown clown logic is like, oh, him being illiterate is actually proof that he's a prophet. Because otherwise, who would write the book? Ah, dude. Actual brown clown religion. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
I
love he's like, well, actually, Your Honor, my client, Muhammad, he could not have been a false prophet because he was retarded. Got him!
How was he able to transcribe this and be able to have this written? If he was... Exactly. So he was illiterate, but he was able to have this book delivered through him without any error, without any mistakes.
We never saw a prophet that was ignorant, doesn't even know how to read and write, that ever God gave him a prophecy.
Not ignorant, but that actually...
God never gave prophecy to retards. Bro's just like, he was supposed to be the guy that was gonna be like, actually Islam is like beautiful in its own way, and he just goes in there and he slaughters him. It was bad.
Actually proves that Islam is the true religion.
No,
if he was able to repeat this Quran without any errors.
No, Sneeko, you gay and slightly retarded. Yeah, sorry, man. Don't want to be that guy, but you might be dumb. So anyway, Sneeko, of course, after getting humiliated thoroughly, he had to bring in help. So he decided to bring in epic Muslim debater guy to show up on the show. All right, and after like an hour of brown clownery, he brings on epic Muslim debater guy. All right, and epic Muslim debater guy had some words.
And then come back to me.
The land belongs to the Muslims, Rabbi. God gave it to us 4,000 years ago on Sinai. You want to talk about it, Rabbi? To the Muslims, yes. King David was a Muslim. The ancient Israelite state is a Muslim.
How was he Muslim if Islam started only 1,300 years ago and King David lived 3,000 years ago?
Oh, good question. How was Abraham a Jew according to the Talmud? Let me finish. Let me finish, brother, please.
Sneeko.
We was prophets and shit. Yeah. Abraham was a Muslim and Adam was a Muslim and they were all Muslims. Oh my God, it's just miserable. And then of course, bro, after an hour of dealing with two people with sub 60 IQ, he's just like, I have to leave.
Sneeko, I gotta go. Please, you can continue.
You can answer one question. I spoke to two people.
I gotta go. I have other things to do. I was supposed to be until 9. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate having me on your show.
Why are you running?
You're running. Bro brings on literally the retard alliance to say, actually, we was prophets and shit. 4,000 years ago, we was prophets and shit. And he's like, I'm not sitting here with these people anymore. Bro, I think he actually, I don't know, man. This was just sad. This was one of the saddest things I've ever seen. Now, of course, just to understand exactly what the enemies of the West are doing, we currently have the very first Palestinian trans flag. Yeah, you thought your eyes were cursed before, and then you decided to click on this video. You are witnessing the final boss of pedophilia. That's right. Pedophilia, final boss. We have the Palestinian trans flags going out there to save society or something. Now, the U.S. Supreme Court had some pretty interesting rulings. Obviously, we have to crack down on these people. So the Supreme Court rules 6-3 that the president has the power to fire members of independent agencies without cause, siding with Donald Trump. So we are going to start actually removing people that we don't like. And people are going to say, oh, it's fascism. No, It's constitutional now. Sorry, big win. Just moments ago, the Supreme Court at the Slaughter case confirmed precedent power in the country to remove gay executive branch officers and homosexual agency appointees or representatives under Article 2. The decision was long sought by United States presidents dating all the way back to the 1930s. It's such an honor to be the sitting president who won the historic and unprecedented ruling. One of the most important things ever given with respect to presidential powers. Thank you for your attention to this matter. To show the importance of the Slaughter case, 90 years of precedent has been completely and unequivocally overruled, greatly increasing presidential power at a time when it is most needed. Now, there was one L that we took in the Supreme Court, and it would be remiss not to mention it. This is pretty incredible. In light of the tremendous loss in the Supreme Court today concerning voters' rights and the fact that people's votes are allowed to be counted long after the election is over, it is more important than ever to pass the Save America Act, which is massive, and for some reason people like Tucker Carlson who hate our country aren't actually promoting it at all, even though it's super important. Now, the crazy thing is, we literally, they decided to pass the voter fraud bill. Literally, they're doing that. Now, Amy Coney Barrett is a huge disappointment. She was supposed to be a Republican right-wing judge, and she voted literally for the enemy side to vote for rigged elections. She voted for rigged elections on the Supreme Court, and honestly, joke's on us for appointing a woman as a Supreme Court justice. That's obviously a joke, because I don't think women should be judges at all. It has nothing to do with Supreme Court justices. Obviously, women shouldn't be judges altogether. Anyway, yes, woman rules. It's okay to be late, and they are accepting late ballots forever now. That's right, and understand exactly what that means.
If the Democrats do win the midterms, is Trump getting impeached again?
I'm sure he'll get impeached. Look, they have nothing to actually run on or govern on. Their entire obsessive focus of that party is they hate Donald Trump. So if they ever get power, are they going to, lower Americans' taxes? No. Are they going to make your life more affordable? No. Are they going to solve the crime crisis? No. What they're going to do is they're going to spend all their time and all of your money trying to get Donald Trump. I think it's ridiculous. That's what they're running on. But the American people are going to make this determination. I think the American people should vote for the people who want to make their life more affordable, who want to make their neighborhoods safer. That's what we're trying to deliver every single day.
Yeah.
If the
and bro is cooking. And now they're going to try to rig an election and get this guy out. Of course, you got people sitting there crying, there's no evidence that fraudulent votes have changed any election outcomes. Are you trying to solve a problem that doesn't exist? And it gets even better. Look, we make pilots before they start flying a plane. We make them get a license to do that. We don't wait until there's like a plane crash, etc., etc. And the greatest quote of all time ever is, but it's already illegal for non-citizens to vote. Why should they need to show ID? It's already illegal. Yes, says Spencer Pratt, and it is also illegal to cut your wife's head off. But that didn't stop OJ. Laws are meaningless to criminals. It is insane that we have to deal with this, and I'm glad that we have people like that are actually willing to call out the retards.
As President Trump put it, and rightfully so, he gave our allies a test to support America when we asked for their help, and too many failed it. All he said was that our jets would need to take off from bases in Europe or our ships from ports to strike targets in the Middle East. But too many of our allies said no. It was shameful. Yeah. The United States has defended Europe for generations. And so we're doubling down on our effort to make NATO what it always was supposed to be, a balanced alliance with Europe in the lead for its own defense, NATO 3.0. I'm announcing today a 6-month Department of War review that will examine America's force posture and basing in Europe.
Absolutely massive, because actually, fuck those guys. They suck. And I'm really, I hope we leave NATO. We don't need to be part of this. We give $100 billion a year to NATO or some crazy amount. We get nothing out of that. Nothing. Absolutely zilch. Get out of there. Gigantic balls. Get them out. Bro was cooking. So honestly, the way things are looking, they're looking up. The United States of America is looking up. And I am praying that we can keep this momentum going. And I pray that we can actually obliterate our enemies effectively and efficiently without getting absolutely cucked by infinite libtards. Because that is the threat right now. Now, there is an upside, and a lot of people aren't looking at it. Between the trans suicide rate and the Palestinian suicide bombing rate, this is approximately fatal death sentence. This right here, this shit has like a 100% mortality rate. No one has ever survived it. It's truly diabolical. And all in all, very excited to see what the future holds in regards for the libtards that we have to share this country with for some reason. Breaking Donald news. He had this to say right now.
There'll be a meeting on that tomorrow, and Doha, and they're going to Qatar. I think they've already left, or they're just about getting ready to leave. So we'll see how that goes. But we're doing very well on that front. But the meeting in Doha is going to be perhaps important, perhaps not. We're going to find out. But we're winning militarily. It's almost won militarily, I would say. And it's really very simple. It's the denuclearization of Iran. We don't want them to have a nuclear weapon, and they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. And they've agreed to that.
Yeah, bro's been pretty consistent about this, I have to say. Listen, meeting with them might not be important. We might just have to Sodom and Gomorrah their asses, actually. Based. Now, one of YouTube's biggest ever terror supporters went after Asmongold. Made this entire video about how Asmongold is promoting terror propaganda because he supports killing terrorists. I know. Apparently killing terrorists is bad now. This is un-American, and I will not hear another word of this. This is blasphemy. Anyway, I'm very curious to see what this is about. I'm excited. Apparently everyone's coming after my boy, the Roach King. But if you watch Asmongold, you will note that basically all of his opinions were just opinions that I had about 6 months ago. Nuxtradamus has been dominating the entire public discourse sphere. What can I say? Killing terrorists is awesome, actually. And when Israel does it, that just means that we don't have to do it. So W, I guess. All right, very excited to see what Noah Samson's crashing out about because all of his friends in Hamas are dying, and it's really hard. It's really hard if you're a Palestinian. Imagine being born with 67 IQ. You're raised to want to kill Jews. You try to kill Jews, and then the Jews absolutely decimate your entire culture and city. It's brutal. It's brutal. And then you know what they do? They cry genocide for a decade, and then they try to kill Jews again, and then their city blows up again. It's actually heartbreaking stuff. Lock in, free Palpatine, as they say. Let's see what we got.
I'm absolutely picking a side. Like, if I have to pick, like, I would pick Israel over Iran every day of the week.
Yeah, duh. Yeah, Israel's our ally. Iran killed thousands of us. That's a pretty easy one. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, it's not even a question. Like, I know that people have, like, this Israel fatigue and they hate Israel, but yeah, I would pick Israel every day of the week. And anybody who doesn't want you to do that is probably listening to terrorist propaganda.
Yeah, true.
That's the reason why. Absolutely.
This is Asmongold. Asmongold is one of the
Holy shit, is that the CEO of Bricks and Minifigs?
most viewed live streamers in the world. With a daily viewership of over 5 million viewers, this is roughly 10 times the viewership of CNN. And apparently, Asmongold is concerned with peace in the Middle East. How does he propose to achieve this peace?
Killing the terrorists?
Well, with bombs.
Based! That's my guy! Yes! Based. That's right.
Israel should keep bombing Lebanon because Lebanon has terrorists in it.
They have
Hezbollah in it, and
they have to die.
Like, again, they're firing rockets into Israel.
Yes, they are.
They are. They're firing rockets into.
I mean, aside from that, they've also, they're occupying Lebanon. They're slaughtering Christians in Lebanon. They slaughtered, obviously, tons of people in Syria, and now they're dying, and it's awesome, actually. Yeah.
He kills every single fucking one of the Hezbollah members in Lebanon. Every single fucking.
Yeah, you know my favorite part? What just happened like yesterday? Israel apparently they went into Lebanon. They found this gigantic tunnel on their border, on southern Lebanon, basically on the Israeli border. They had a gigantic tunnel over there, full of Hezbollah guys, and they just sealed the tunnel. Yep, that's at W Israel. W Israel. We take hell yeah. And then it went kaboom. And they died. And you know what? This is gonna be hard to hear, but it was awesome. W Jews.
One. And only then will the people there have peace.
On his June 14th live stream, Asmongold advocated for the continuation of Israel's bombing campaign in Lebanon. And in the same stream, he also advocated against a peace agreement to end the US and Israel's war on Iran.
Yeah, because you're dealing with terrorists and they should die. I actually agree with Asmongold. He's right.
Make peace with Iran, they no longer consider us a
are you going to trust them? You're going to make a pinky promise with these fucking terrorists that killed thousands of us over like decades? No, actually you just kill them.
Enemy. Why is that not an acceptable outcome to you? Because they're not. They're just going to lie to you. They're ideologically captured. They're religious zealots, and they can't be allowed to, they can't be allowed to be trusted.
Yeah.
They've already broken too many deals before. They've lied too many times.
Yeah. Asmongold's argument for the continued bombing of Iran and Lebanon is that in order to achieve peace, we must get rid of the terrorists. Hezbollah is a terrorist group, so he says, and Iran funds them, ergo, we have to bomb the terrorists.
Exactly. That's right. Hell yeah. Is this supposed to be a hate video? Slander so good, almost like the hate tweet. Yeah, based. Exactly. Giga chat emoji.
You tell your argument why you consider them terrorists? Because they fund people that attack.
Why do you consider the people that have been killing civilians for 40 years terrorists?
Can kill civilians on purpose and target civilians to kill them in order to achieve political goals. Groups like Hezbollah and the Houthis and Hamas. It's that simple.
There are a few issues with his analysis here, though. First among them is the premise. Asmongold repeats the IDF's line that they are targeting Hezbollah in Lebanon, but that's not what's actually happening.
That is actually what's happening, yeah. And yeah, actually it sucks that sometimes terrorists use human shields and stuff, but yeah, of course they are. Of course they're targeting terrorists. What are you talking about?
What the evidence shows is that targeting Hezbollah is just a pretext, one that Israel uses to blow up everything in sight and mass murder civilians. Israel.
Yes, of course, Israel is not actually going after the terrorists. Interestingly enough, the actual civilian to terrorist ratio is about 1 to 1. Which is pretty wild if they were just indiscriminately bombing everyone.
Is targeting men, women, children, journalists.
No, they're not targeting children. Terrorists are living in civilian apartment buildings and are in civilian infrastructure as they shoot missiles. And Israel's going to kill them because they're trying to kill Israelis, and civilians will die, and it's the terrorists' fault, actually. Based.
Healthcare workers, hospitals, ambulances.
Healthcare workers. Part-time healthcare, part-time terrorists.
They are leveling entire cities. They're also...
not. They have not leveled entire cities, except for people directly on their border, because they were building tunnels under those cities into Israel so the terrorists could kill civilians. Yes, bombing them is awesome, actually. Yeah.
Routinely using white phosphorus indiscriminately and in civilian residential areas. In the first month of attacks on Lebanon alone, they used it to burn over 10,000 acres of forests and farmland. These are all...
They genocided the forests.
All war crimes. In just the past 4 months...
War crimes? Oh no! Someone call the international law police! Oh no! You think Hezbollah isn't doing war crimes? They're doing war crimes when they wear civilian clothing. They're doing war crimes when they're firing from civilian neighborhoods. They're doing war crimes when they're dressed as journalists and with press vests and dressed as healthcare workers. They literally use ambulances as transportation. All right, what are we even talking? They're bombing civilians all the time. They're trying to invade other countries to kill civilians. They're firing. War crimes! Wee woo! Call the international law police.
Israel has killed nearly 4,000 people in Lebanon.
Wait, hold up. Israel killed nearly 4,000 people in Lebanon. Let me help. There we go. Israel killed nearly 4,000 people in Lebanon. Anyway.
Including hundreds of children and healthcare workers. On average, Israeli forces have killed more than 1 child every day since April. On October...
Yeah, I guess Hezbollah shouldn't have started a war. Then they would be alive, but they're not alive because Hezbollah decided to kill civilians. That sucks.
3rd, 2024, Israel bombed a medical center in Beirut.
A medical center that was literally utilized by Hezbollah terrorists.
Killing 9 people and injuring 14. 7 of those killed were members of the medical staff. That same month, Israel destroyed a significant portion of an entire city. Tyre, one of the oldest cities in the world.
Holy shit. Sounds like Hezbollah was pretty retarded to start a war.
They damaged over 400 apartments, completely destroyed several buildings, and demolished a number of ancient historical sites. On March 12th, 2026, Israel bombed a beachside tent encampment housing people that they had displaced from their bombings.
Oh, tents! Oh, Israel was just bombing tents. Mostly peaceful tents, am I right, guys? Just mostly peaceful tents. Yeah, nothing to see here from the mostly peaceful tents that Israel was bombing.
Killing 8 and wounding 31. The strike came in the middle of the night, and it was a double-tap strike. The first missile landed and killed 3 people near the beach, and when people approached to help the victims, the second missile landed. No evacuation warning was issued. This was in a safe zone. In all of these examples of mass civilian death and destruction, what did Israel say it was doing? It said it was targeting Hezbollah. This is their pretext, and Asmongold is...
That's exactly what they were doing. What are we even talking about? Hezbollah fires missiles into Israel for the last 40 years. What are we even talking about?
Repeating it uncritically. And the same is true of Asmongold's endorsement of Israel's stated goal of eliminating Hamas. That may be what Israel says it's doing, but in reality, what Israel's actually doing in Gaza is killing entire families by leveling apartment blocks.
Yeah, it really fucking sucks that Hamas decided to build tunnels under the entirety of Gaza to use as little terrorist hotspots. That really sucks. Man, it really sucks that Noah Samson, who gets pegged probably, had this to say. It's really horrible.
Toddlers with machine guns.
Hind Rajab was, by the way, this was literally debunked. This was fake news. The Hind Rajab case.
Shooting babies in the head with snipers while they're being...
There is no evidence of this, by the way. This This is testimony from a Palestinian who I would personally believe immediately.
Being breastfed by their mothers alone in tents in broad daylight. The vast majority of the people that Israel has killed in Gaza have been civilians. That is the...
That's weird, because actually, according to Hamas, 50,000 Hamas fighters were killed. They literally have been funding 50,000 widows of Hamas fighters. How does that work? How does that work? If 70,000 deaths total, 50,000 Hamas fighters, man, that's weird.
Conclusion of every independent expert. The only ones still denying it in 2026 are Israel and the United States, and the content creators online that
So the
defend them
United States, the best country in the world?
for some reason still. And as for Asmongold's claim about the United States, the same goes for them. Firstly, because they supply the vast majority of the weapons that Israel has used to commit its genocide, but they also do murderous bombing campaigns themselves.
No, a genocide. A genocide where 70% of the buildings were destroyed and 1% of the civilians were killed. That sounds like a genocide. A genocide where Israel dropped 200,000 tons of bombs and killed 70,000 people. Genocide, am I right?
In the first week of the war, the United States blew up an Iranian elementary school, killing 156 people.
That was an accident. That wouldn't have happened if Iran wouldn't have been killing us thousands of Americans. Oh, that wouldn't have happened at all.
120 of whom were children. 120 little girls and boys murdered by the United States.
This photo is literally from Turkey. This photo is not from Iran, actually. It's crazy that I know this. They push so much fake shit. This photo, I'm pretty sure it's a Turkish photo from like 2016. This isn't from Iran.
States in a war that they started. Asmongold has apparently consulted the history books and feels vindicated by them.
Every single page of the history book proves me right.
But I'm not sure which ones he read, because if you look
I'll
back...
explain to you. It's the one that said that when we nuked Japan, the war ended. That's the history book he's talking about. You know the best way to end a war? Winning the war is the best way to end the war, actually. Not make sure that the terrorists survive to fight another day. So, yes, the history books do state that when you win the war ends.
At any point, you will find the United States committing these same kinds of atrocities across the globe for their wars of aggression. The other issue with Asmongold's analysis here is the presence of that word terrorism. What makes someone a terrorist? Well, for Asmongold, terrorism is defined as the use of violence against civilians for political goals.
Because they fund people that attack and kill civilians on purpose and target civilians to kill them in order to achieve political goals.
A part of his definition for terrorism is the inability to abide by the terms of agreements.
If we are signing a deal with the Islamic Republic of Iran, we are just delaying this war until later on. That's what I think. I think that as long as these people are in power, you are going to, they're not going to stop trying to build a nuclear bomb. They're I think that this is what's likely to happen. They will just blow something else up in a week. They will. It's going to keep happening.
But, and I know this reveal is probably so surprising, Israel and the United States do both of those things all the time. They do it by killing civilians, as we just...
He's so cute. He's so cute. Yeah, actually, this is going to be hard for you to hear. It's crazy how libtards do this. There is not actually a moral equivalency, because you see, we are the good guys and they are the bad guys. So I am very happy when we win, but I am not happy when they win. Man, I love when they do this. I love it. Why is it fair for Iran to not have a nuclear weapon when we have nuclear weapons? Oh, it's because I love that we have nuclear weapons. I don't want them to have nuclear weapons because I hate them and they hate us and they're trying to kill us. That's why. Because we're the good guy. Yep, that's right. It's that simple, actually. Yep, no moral equivalence required. Are we serious? Are we being serious? But America kills terrorists. Yeah, why do you think America bombs any of these places? You think they were just living their life nicely and peacefully, and America was like, I have to kill some Browns. No, that's not what happened, actually. Man, I love how all of this guy's perspective is literally just terror propaganda.
Just looked at and funding and arming and supporting governments that mass murder civilians in campaigns of genocide.
Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why any of this happened. I wonder why Israel killed people in Gaza.
But they also do it by breaking ceasefires and peace agreements. The most recent example is, starting a war. They started the war and lost, mind you. That's
Oh, shit. It says it on Wikipedia.
Wikipedia official now.
I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he actually said that.
By
the way, we started a war because they literally have weapons to build nuclear. They had 60% enriched uranium, enough of which to build 10 nuclear weapons, which they stated they were going to use on us. That's why we started a war.
But they also do it by breaking ceasefires and peace agreements. The most recent example is, starting a war. They started the war and lost, mind you. That's Wikipedia official now.
Guys, a couple of Pakistanis edited a Wikipedia page. It's over. It's over. Iran doesn't have a military or navy or air force. They're in shambles. They have no leaders. But Wikipedia says they won, so.
Attacked Iran first, unprovoked. There wasn't a war, and then there was, because the United States and Israel
Because
attacked.
we didn't want them to bomb us. Yeah.
And the whole reason there's
They
even
killed thousands of us for the last 47 years, and now they're dead. And that's awesome, actually.
a need for ceasefire negotiations in the first place is because they attacked. Another important example here is the Iran nuclear deal. Despite observations from independent experts that Iran was abiding by the terms of the agreement, it was the United States who randomly decided to pull out and then proceed to
Because they were lying, because they had billions of dollars that were using towards a nuclear missile program.
administer brutal sanctions on Iran, crushing the country's economy in a move that was widely understood to be an unprovoked act of aggression that was condemned by governments across the globe. And of course,
we don't care. Yeah, we don't care. Actually, we are going to crush their economy because they're retards that killed thousands of us. So we're going to crush their economy, and that's awesome.
the same is true of Israel. They violated ceasefires in Gaza and Lebanon. Now tens
It's crazy that we're doing this. You know, but there was no war. And then there was a war when Hamas decided to do October 7th. There was no war. And then there was a war. That logic doesn't apply, I guess.
of thousands of times, further displacing millions of people, destroying entire towns, and starving, kidnapping, torturing, and brutalizing the population. Asmongold cites Hezbollah rocket fire as a justification for Israel's bombing in Lebanon.
They're firing rockets into Israel.
But he neglects to mention any of these violations. In
Now,
Lebanon,
why were they violated? Why were there any of those violations? It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy that we're dealing. This is what fetal alcohol syndrome happened. This is what happens when mom drinks a little too much while she's pregnant.
in the same time frame of the ceasefire, where Israel committed literally 10,000 violations, Hezbollah fired a total of 4 rockets.
10,000 violations, and they couldn't even kill over 70,000 Palestinians? That's crazy.
But for him, that's a valid reason to promote the IDF's destruction of a sovereign country. So now, okay, of course, there's a double
killing terrorists is awesome, actually. The sovereign country wouldn't be touched if they wouldn't have been bombing them.
standard, right? By Asmongold's definition of terrorism, which is killing civilians and breaking deals, both the
I love how leftists just take words and manipulate them to make believe they don't actually understand. Terrorism literally is referring to non-state actors. State actors inherently aren't terrorists. Hezbollah are non-state actors. Hamas are non-state actors. So yeah, literally. Sorry, bro.
United States and Israel are terrorists.
It's crazy that we're playing these word games. It's like, I will just take words, I'll manipulate them around a little bit, and I'll be like, wow, wow.
Asmongold acknowledges this directly in response to a viewer in his chat that brings up Israel.
Does Israel do that too? Israel's on our side. Iran's not.
Yep.
It's that simple. And we do that to them too. But it's very simple. It's our side versus the other side. I don't want them doing that.
He acknowledges it further while discussing the United States.
To the extent that there is even a hint of it, even a slight, tiny, some like little resistance army in Africa, immediately bomb the shit out of them. Shut them down, keep it done. Anybody that's chanting death to America, anybody that's going around talking about how they're going to attack the United States or anything else,
we'll kill them.
Totally shut them down.
And yet, he still supports them. He still directly advocates for their violence. He gets mad at viewers that point out the contradiction regarding Israel.
AIPAC funded.
I love how these people think it's a contradiction for wanting America to win and wanting the enemy to lose. It's like, you're actually a hypocrite because you want America to win, but you don't want Iran to win, you hypocrite. No, that's not hypocrisy, actually. What are we doing?
Right. Yeah. And, again, like it's Israel. Israel's so bad. These people are trying to blow you up too, bro. Like, that's it. Do you think Israel's interest is honest with America? I'm not interested in your misdirection towards Israel. I have no interest in that. This is just terrorist subversion.
He even argues that anti-American slogans should be punishable by extrajudicial drone execution, regardless of their validity.
I don't give a fuck what reasoning they have. I don't care what their reasoning is. I don't care what they think is right. It doesn't matter to me. Like, the only thing that I care about is neutralizing that threat. So whatever gets rid of, like, I don't care. Like, you think that I give a fuck about what their reasoning is or what their justification is? I don't care.
Look, man, if they say death to America, we're going to kill Americans, that's a declaration of war. And we're going to win that war. I don't understand. I love how these libtards are just like, actually, we want more 9/11s to happen. We just really want that to happen. And then we're going to say, ha, we deserved it. Well, it's pretty incredible.
You're doing it. Okay, that's the problem.
And why does he do that? Well, the answer is fairly simple. He's just a racist. Fundamentally, he views some groups of people as less...
You don't want to get nuked by Iran? Racist? You bigot?
worthy of life than others. Terrorism is okay when we do it, but when they even protest that terrorism, they deserve...
Yes, it is okay when we win wars against people trying to kill us, but it is not okay when they kill us. I'm really glad that we could establish this.
...to die.
Why do you think they say death to America? Probably because you attacked them first? Well,
this is the craziest, like, third world cope of all time. They say death to America because their religious belief is that America is the great Satan and that they will be able to do their Islamic conquest of the world by killing America and subjugating it under the boot of Islam. So they believe that they are a literal theocratic fascist death cult to destroy our civilization. All right? That is what they believe in. That's why they want to kill us. It's not because we bombed them first, which we literally didn't do.
Damn, that's too bad. I guess we're going to have to attack them again.
We,
don't care.
Americans, and
yes, I actually don't. And even if it's true that they hate us now and want us dead because we did something bad, that's still a threat that we're going to have to eliminate. I actually don't care.
Israelis, the inhabitants of our overseas proxy military colony, we have a right to live, and they do not. We have human...
Of course they have a right to live. If they don't want to kill us. If they do want to kill us, then we can revoke that right as easily as we could bestow it upon them. Their existence hinges upon our benevolence. That is because we are the world power. That's how it works. Yeah, we could literally eliminate them. So therefore, they should try not to piss us off, I guess. Is that really such a hot take? Well, are we being serious here? We are benevolently granting you life. You're welcome.
Rights, and they do not. We are human,
Human
and
rights
they
aren't real.
are not. To quote,
human rights aren't real. This has nothing to do with humanity versus not humanity. This has nothing to do with racism. Human rights aren't real. These guys suck, and they're trying to kill us, and they're gonna die.
But Asmongold himself, it's really that simple.
It's that simple.
But for the opponents of racist mass murder, it's not enough to...
Yeah, it's not racist. Actually, it's Islam is not a race. And we're killing them because they're trying to kill us.
To just point to the double standard. Asmongold's position, while racist, is...
It's such a double standard. You think that they should die for trying to kill us, but you don't want to die for trying to kill them? Double standard.
Logically consistent, because he's a racist. It's also not enough to point out the infinitely disproportionate nature of...
You know my evidence for the fact that he's a racist? He wants to kill people that are trying to develop nuclear weapons to eliminate our civilization. Got him.
This violence. The fact that Israel has killed, at minimum, 10,000 times more people than Hamas did on October 7th is irrelevant to supporters of Israel. For them, it can all be...
Yes, because proportionality is completely irrelevant when it comes to warfare. Like, this argument is, Israel should have let Hamas kill a couple more Jews so that they can kill more Palestinians. Actually, no. Actually, you're supposed to try to win wars if you're stuck in them. Right? Hamas started a war, and Israel's supposed to win that war. Proportionality is retarded. Who came up with that shit? Who came up with proportionality? Are you serious? This stuff is gay as shit. It really is. Yes. Yeah, you know, they really shouldn't have started a war that they had absolutely no chance of winning. Jake, thanks for the 5 subs. It's so unbelievable how retarded these people are.
Explained by Hamas's lack of firepower. If they had the weapons Israel had, they'd do the same. Israel just had...
If they had the weapons Israel had, Israel would be eliminated because they are literally genocidal freaks. That's their culture and religion. They believe in massacring all the Jews. It's their stated goal. They literally openly state the plan of killing every single Jew in the world. That's what they say, okay? So like, I love how we're running defense for this, but they literally did do a genocide on October 7th. All right, everyone's laughing and making memes about how Israel did a pretendicide in Gaza right now. But Hamas literally did do a genocide on October 7th. Massacring every Jew they could find in music festivals and houses, and they were mostly leftist Jews that were living close to Gaza because they were woke and they wanted to make sure that the Palestinians had their rights and stuff like that, and it's the woke Jews that were slaughtered by the Palestinians on October 7th. I'm just being real. That's exactly what happened. All right, and yeah, and then they lost the war massively. Massively. And no, it wasn't proportional because proportionality is gay, and it's a fake moral system that you have invented to cuck more powerful nations and civilizations. And I'm not going to sit there for it. Yeah, America is the strongest culture on the planet. We're the strongest civilization in the history of the world. And if you want to declare war on us, you're going to die. And it's not going to be proportional.
Had to kill tens of thousands of children because, in a hypothetical I made up in a dream I had, they did the same to us. Israel had...
Same. I don't think anyone ever claimed that it's supposed to be proportional. Israel wanted to eliminate Hamas because why should Israel sacrifice a single one of their people because they're letting terrorists survive? That's such a retarded mindset. Yes, actually, I think that if it would save American lives if we bombed the fuck out of Iran, we should bomb the fuck out of Iran. And it has nothing to do with proportionality.
Had to, as Asmongold put it, nip it in the bud.
If you don't kill them, they will kill you. Now, they might not kill you today, but they'll kill you in a year. They'll kill you in 10 years. To the extent that they have the capacity to, they will use that capacity to harm you. So my goal is always to nip it in the bud, stop it from happening, to even stop it from even beginning to happen.
He's right.
No, the double standards and disproportionality are not enough. The only way to get to the
double standards. This guy's hilarious.
bottom of this terrorism quandary is to find the
I
inception
just think this guy loves terrorism.
point. Where does this all begin? And looking at the historical record, the answer is pretty clear. Before Hezbollah existed, Israel invaded Lebanon, killed tens of thousands of people, the vast majority of whom
why did that happen?
were women and children.
Why did they do that? Why do you think Israel did that? Like, I love how he literally picks different points of history to start. And then he starts history from there, and it's like, look at the way the Jews started that thing. Bro, Muslims have been slaughtering Jews for 1,300 years, okay? Any point in history you want to pick, all right? You could literally tie back to the fact that Muslims slaughtered Jews at that time, just like they slaughtered Christians for the last 1,300 years. It is crazy that we're just going to pick... You do realize the PLO existed, but Hezbollah didn't exist. Oh, you're right. There was a different terrorist organization, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, whatever it's called, and then they obliterated those guys, and then Hezbollah started. And it's like, you started. Hezbollah didn't start. You started. Yeah, right. Okay.
Directly facilitated the slaughter and rape of thousands of civilians in the Sabra and Shatila massacre, a massacre the United Nations General Assembly declared an act of genocide. Hezbollah was formed in response to this genocidal invasion as a group resisting it.
Everything's a genocide, by the way. Pay attention. Everything that the West does, that's a genocide.
Fighting to get Israel out of their country. And that's exactly what they did.
And they also decided to slaughter Christians in Lebanon and slaughter people in Syria. Why did they do that? I thought they were just defending Lebanon against Israel. That's so weird. And why is it the Lebanese president is working with Israel right now to try to kill Hezbollah? You want to explain that? Also, Israel did not do the Sabra and Shatila Christian Lebanese massacre. That was Muslims. But are we being real here for a second? Like, come on, dude. This is crazy.
Hamas existed. Israel stole Palestine. Between 1947
Israel stole Palestine.
and 1949, Zionist...
This is funny because there's no such thing as Palestine.
...forces destroyed some 530 villages and about 15,000 Palestinians.
But why did that happen? Why did that happen? Are we not going to talk about the massacres, the Hebron massacres that have been happening against the Jews that have been living in the area that they called Palestine?
Palestinians were killed in a series of
But why did that happen, though? But why did any of that happen? It's crazy how one-sided his history is.
atrocities, including scores of massacres. 750,000 Palestinians, over 80% of the Arab population of what became Israel.
Yeah, that's because the Palestinians left because Israel was attacked by 5 Arab armies at the same time, and Israel won a war against like 1 billion retarded, inbred retards. And then they all died, and Israel won because they're gay and retarded. And then the Palestinians were like, oh, well, we left so that the Arabs could genocide you, but we want to come back now, and the Jews were like, no, actually, you can't. Based, actually. Make the Nakba great again, as they say. Charlatan, thanks for the 25 subs.
Ethnically cleansed. This event, the Nakba, and
they were ethnically cleansed. They tried to slaughter the Jews and failed, and then they were ethnically cleansed.
all of the violence in its wake, this is the inception point. Regardless of the label you use.
That's the inception point. Nothing that happened before that. Not the reason that the Nakba happened was because 5 Arab armies decided to attack Israel at the same time and they all lost. That's not the inception point.
Used to describe these groups, the moral calculus doesn't change. Resisting invasion, occupation, and genocide through armed struggle is moral and just, and
it's moral and just for terrorism to do terror, but it's not moral and just to kill terrorists. Welcome to Libtardium.
Legal under international law, and it should not be condemned. Your own personal feelings towards the methods are irrelevant. They do not matter.
Your feelings are irrelevant. But anyway, could we please have more terrorism?
when you live in the West and not in Palestine. And especially not when those objections,
bro, you don't live in Palestine either. What are we doing?
Are weaponized as the pretext for genocide, which is what Asmongold demonstrates in his video here. So, as I said at the start, Asmongold is one of the most widely viewed live streamers on YouTube. He gets millions of views per day, several times more than any other political live streamers and most news channels. And when these millions of viewers click onto his show, this is what they are greeted with: terrorist propaganda.
Israel should keep bombing Lebanon because Lebanon has terrorists in it. They have Hezbollah in it.
Profoundly ignorant, factually incorrect, and morally demented propaganda for US-Israeli terrorism. I don't know how convincing any of his videos are.
Terrorism is when you stop terrorists from using a nuke on you, by the way.
You know, arguing that terrorism is okay when we do it because we're the good guys. It's not as compelling to the average person as it might have been 20 years ago. Not when we have access to live footage of the reality of...
I love how this dude is like, it's not compelling enough. Bro, didn't you just say that he's the #1 most popular political streamer in the world?
What that terrorism results in every day, and our governments can't keep it under wraps. This channel is just a place people can go to have their feelings of racist bloodlust validated. It's a safe space. But if there is anyone watching that wants to actually engage with the facts critically, I would encourage them to consult any of the resources on screen now.
You have to click on all of my sources. They all say I'm right.
For Asmongold too. Read any of these reports on your stream if you want to leave your echo chamber for a moment and contend with the fact that you are supporting terrorism when you say stuff like this. I personally don't think he'll do that, but, you know, I figured I'd ask anyways, just in case. Stranger things have happened. But anyways, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. Join my Patreon.
That was incredible. That was absolutely incredible. He literally just went out there and he played all of Asmongold's biggest hits, saying to kill terrorists and shit, and bro was crying the entire time. Absolute fucking cinema. No, your sides are the terrorists because you want to stop the poor Islamic Republic of Iran from nuking us. They want to nuke us, and it's our fault that we deserve to get nuked. I'm spreading my butthole. I'm ready to get nuked, Daddy. Please let them nuke us, and if we stop them from nuking us, we're doing a terrorism. Man, the left is literally like a death cult, actually. It's great. Now I know why they get along so well with Islam. That's crazy. There's just a gigantic, large subset of the left that just loves terrorism, hates America, and we need to deport all of them to Gaza. Now, the left that hates us a lot and wants us to die, they've been having a really, really bad day. And that is fantastic news for Nux content. So lock in, boys and girls. You are not ready for what you are about to witness. So this guy, Brandon Gill, he's based. I love him. I don't know. He's been asking some communists about SNAP benefits.
Do the American people need Coca-Cola to survive?
I did not say that. I said that.
I'm asking you. I'm giving you the opportunity to say yes or no.
I will not answer for individuals and their choices.
Oh, really? You won't? Oh, really?
You think that there are some Americans who need Coca-Cola to survive? Is that your testimony?
I am happy to talk about the food and nutrition
you just don't know.
that individuals have.
You just don't know. I think most people can rationally say that you don't need Coca-Cola to survive. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree that we have a hunger crisis and that we need to address it, but ensuring that individuals have the food resources.
Bro, we have an obesity crisis. I'm not a biologist, but this really fat fuck, he needs Coke immediately.
That they need.
Got it. And one of those is sugary Coca-Cola.
Correct. And he keeps going, and he humiliates these people because they're all idiots.
Is your organization funded by organizations that make money from food stamps? Do
silence
organizations who profit off of food stamps fund your organization or businesses?
I mean, I can't comment to that. Happy to talk about the research that needed.
Does General Mills fund your organization?
I don't have access to that information.
I do. It's right here. They do fund your organization. Do they profit off of food stamps?
Retailers are the major beneficiaries.
Do you think that that's a conflict of interest?
Yes.
That's where EBT dollars are utilized.
Yes, and they're
this is why we have to stop paying taxes, because the government cannot be trusted with our money. Son Goku thinks of the 5 subs.
Profiting off of your advocacy. Do you think that that's a conflict of interest?
Silence. What is this?
I think most people think that's a conflict of interest. I know you don't want to answer.
Yeah. Oh my God. Just miserable. Oh my God. A woman not speaking. So just to be clear, what we have just witnessed is a woman unable to say words. Like, if you're not subscribing and pledging to support me on Patreon because my video is demonetized after literally biblical feat like this, more women need to learn how to do that. Anyway, moving on. So Vice President J.D. Vance went on Libtard Central. All right, he went on Bill Maher. You know, Bill Maher is like the biggest anti-Trump guy of all time. He went on Bill Maher and he slaughtered him. The libtards just cannot actually stand up to literally anyone with a brain. It's crazy.
Stuff like that is that nothing ever lands in the middle, which is what I'm always trying to get people to do.
I thought you were crazy liberal.
Because you don't watch the show. You should watch the show.
I actually do watch the show. I laughed my ass off backstage. That was a good monologue. Even though you were making fun of me, I kind of liked it.
Yeah. It was fair.
Yeah, I love how leftists are just like so like stuck up their own ass. They cannot possibly imagine the fact that you could like laugh at yourself.
Yeah. I know someone in your administration who watches the show. Because I always hear about it. Okay.
You're right. The second lady, she's a big fan. Second lady's a big fan of Bill Maher.
But what we...
Indian women's wet dream, Bill Maher. Bro's gonna be voting for like Republicans next round. You're like, you don't understand. So he tries to then get JD Vance on ICE, like this big gotcha. It's like, haha, but ICE is killing lesbians, and I'm like, Giga Chad emoji, based. Anyway, so and male nurses, which is like holy shit, a male nurse.
Say you. Here's what sticks in their craw.
Okay.
The number one issue: immigration. Not immigration. Okay. We like it that you closed the border. That needed to be done. The people who were here, the way you treated. I'm talking about your administration. Okay. You weren't out there yourself, but ICE, all that shit, too rough, too mean.
Oh no! It's mean and rough that they deport Haitian cannibals. Oh no! Oh no! Not being rough on the retarded inbred cannibals that are in our country.
Too unnecessary.
Oh.
I think you go. I'm not telling you what to do. Okay, I'm just giving you some advice as a friend.
Okay.
And I am. And I'm not saying, I'm not asking you to apologize if I don't like when people do that. I'm just saying you go a long way toward getting people who are just completely shut the door to you and your ministry, if you would just own that you guys went too far. You went too far, and you should own it like...
I love how liberals, it's incredible to watch this. He's just, look at him wagging his finger at him. He's like, oy vey, oy vey. I don't like what you did to the immigrants. It was mean of you. I didn't like that at all. Oh, no.
You did childless cat ladies.
Well, okay. So here's the basic problem with that bill is you cannot do any deportations without law enforcement, and you can't do a law enforcement operation like that without having some situations that don't look good when they're recorded like that. I mean, let me give you like just one obvious example. Let's just set aside the immigration element of this, okay? If you take a guy who's committed murder and you go in and arrest that guy, sometimes that person's going to resist arrest. Sometimes if you take a video of it and it's out of context and you don't appreciate why that person is being arrested in the first place, it looks pretty icky if you take that out of context video clip. And what I worry about is when people say you can't ever do immigration enforcement if it produces a bad video clip, what they're really saying is you can't ever actually do immigration enforcement. We had 12 million people come into the country in the interior.
Because that's what the left actually wants.
Over the last 4 years.
And also, it's like, you literally have libtards throwing bricks at the heads of ICE agents. And like, oh, I can't believe that they're so messy and rough about it.
Or I should say from 2021 to 2025. And we were elected with a mandate to get some of those people out of the United States of America.
Some of those people? All of those people, JD. Lock in, JD.
Can't do that easily. Law enforcement deporting people is never an easy process. So I appreciate your argument that we've gone too far, but we couldn't do nothing. And I don't think there was an easy way to do this.
Of course.
Yeah, Donald Trump would never say icky. But anyway, actually, deportations have been ramping up lately. It's basically not in the media anymore because it's old news, but it's crazy. It is crazy. Now, Elon Musk is also slaughtering libtards. All right, bro's crying, we need a billionaire's tax. We need taxes for billionaires. You know, Elon Musk, of course, responding with the most lethal response I think I've ever seen in my entire life. And in regards to more libtard L's, here we have the one white lady in the WNBA, which people make believe they watch, completely mogging all of the competition. Look at that. I can't play the music, obviously. But look at her. She's just standing there. She's just pointing. She's just pointing at her. And completely and utterly mogs this entire group. An entire group of women utterly destroyed because they got pointed at by Caitlin Clark. Just miserable, just absolutely miserable. And the funniest part was, it was pointed out that chimpanzees get angry when pointed at, primarily because they often interpret pointing as a direct threat or act of aggression, especially if it is accompanied by prolonged direct eye contact. When around chimpanzees, primatologists and sanctuary experts strongly recommend avoiding the following: pointing, because it can be perceived as challenging or a threatening gesture, and direct staring, because prolonged eye contact is recognized chimpanzee threat directly. Now, obviously, that has nothing to do with this video. Nothing to do with this video at all. It is literally not relevant, YouTube. I know you're watching. I love you guys. Thank you for treating me so fairly, and please return my monetization. That would be sick. I'm just pointing out fascinating behavior among primates because I am an educational channel. Okay, anyway.
Bill Burr and Shaq went viral for this. Is this the
It's crazy. Every libtard decided to kill themselves today.
flat Earth thing?
White people are so dumb they think the freaking Earth is flat. I'm a black guy and I think that. Oh, interesting.
Okay. I'm just going to list random things that have no direct racial connotation, and we decide whether or not it is white people or black people. Conspiracy
Bro, I love this so much. This is one of my favorite
theories.
clips ever.
White people shit or black people?
I would
Black. I'm going to go black people.
I would go for the.
I think black people have way more entertaining conspiracy theories.
Yeah, me too. Like the fact that there's systemic racism, and the reason why more black people are in jails are because cops are racist. That's one of my favorite conspiracy theories.
Not a single white people conspiracy is even nearly as entertaining as Vtube.
True.
Like about how like Shakespeare was black, Mozart.
Bro, the Jews were black, and the black Israelites were there, and we was kangs. Literally, their entire history is conspiracy theories, bro.
Art was black, Beethoven was black, like everything. Like I think it's kind of funny.
White people started to catch up with the internet once, but we went in a stupid.
And of course, Bill Burr, leftist, who married a black woman, I believe. All right, so he's gonna be out there like, no, white people are so much worse, actually.
Direction.
Yeah.
Like flat earthers, rather than like being these people at the top are the ones we should be upset.
You don't think Earth is flat?
Huh?
What? You know, I'm just asking a question.
Do you?
I'm just saying. I took a
Oh my
God, dude.
My question is, what is the advantage the people in power have that if it's actually flat, I'm thinking it's round?
Bro. I love how this dude is like, conspiracies is like white people shit. Because, like, you know, flat earthers are white. What morons. And then bro's like, you don't think the earth is flat? And he's like, that's fascinating. Please tell me more. Tell me more. You see, I've always wondered about this myself, actually. I'm a connoisseur of flat earth, actually, now.
Like, what does that get them?
He's trolling?
Oh, that's
I don't
interesting.
know. I just
Like,
said,
I get the other things.
I just said I fly a lot.
Oh.
One time I took a 25-hour flight, and the plane never did this. That's all I said.
We are dealing with retards, the likes of which no one has ever anticipated. Bro, when they started putting celebrities on podcasts, that is the moment society was rescued. Operation Let Them Speak. I'm just asking questions. Bro, no.
Plane never did this.
He's got to be trolling, bro. You have to be trolling. There's
Hold on.
no
If you're
way.
on a-
You think the plane?
On planes, and he was never upside down. Think about that one, white boy.
Hold on, hold on.
There's no way.
You're on the map. If U.S. is here and another country is there, when I was going to that country, the plane never did that. That's all I said. That's all I said. I would, because then I'd be like, the
It's
Earth
almost like gravity is. Never mind.
is round. But it didn't do that, because I was looking at a map one time I was flying. I was here, and I flew to here. And I stayed up the whole time looking out the window, just to make sure.
25 hours.
When
They
you
never
fly,
did that.
when you fly, they're phasing these things out because they have newer technology. But when you fly,
Bro, Bill, spine folded like an accordion. Oh my god! First he said, "Oh my god!"
I like instrument. They have these things on the ground called VORs, and that's how you if you're in the clouds or above them or wherever.
No way, no way. He's trying to explain it to him.
How you get from point to point without messing up. And if you're too far away, if you're at a lower altitude, you can't get the signal because the Earth is round and it's.
What is this nerd talking about?
Awesome.
He's being
No, that is so awesome. That was so good. Shaq fucking murdered him.
Well, yeah, he's being goy baited.
It's going like that, and you're coming around like this, and it's not until you get within a certain distance that you can hear it. When you fly over to Europe,
I can guarantee you Shaq is going to have the dumbest fucking metaphor response for this.
That's not what I said. I looked up and you could see the moon. And how
I told you.
Look up and you see the moon, right? And I said, okay, how come when I look to the west coast, I can't see
Look
it?
at his jellyfish, brother. Oh, but what a cuck. And he used to be based. And now he's a libtard. Libtard kills. It's deadly.
You, dude, no way.
I'm just.
But you also realize
Just
that
think about
this
it.
isn't north. That's up.
I know that.
Okay.
Yeah, I know
Okay.
that.
What is this here? Let me check with my wife if I can joke about that. Shaq acted dumb to show how big of a bitch Bill Burr has become. I think his wife literally removed his testicles. The thing is that Bill Burr, he's such a stupid asshole for what he said about Carmelo Anthony and retweeting that thing. Bill Burr sharing a video defending Anthony. Oh my. But man, he used to be so fucking funny, wasn't he? He was one of my favorite fucking comedians. Oh my god.
And then he caught
Bill Burr and Shaq.
libtardism. Libtardism. He was cuckmaxing. He cuckmaxed, and we are here, bro. I'm telling you, man. Woke is deadly. It's actually just a deadly disease. It's cancer, except it's worse. It's like super cancer if you're woke. It's worse than cancer, I think, actually. Because if you have cancer, you could still be funny. But if you have woke, you're just waiting to die. Unbelievable. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Holy fucking shit. Listen, man, there's a famous Jewish quote. There are 3 people whose lives are not really living, and one is having a woman rule over you. So a famous Jewish quote. I agree. Bill Maher is living evidence. You can't get very far without a spine. Anyway, it keeps going. The libtard destruction keeps happening.
A nuclear reactor was just turned on in the water supply of 50 million people.
What is this?
I don't think you guys even understand. There are people that say they're pro-nuclear, which is the flippin' craziest stuff. That is insane to me. That is insanity. Like, think about what you're saying.
Jesus Christ. There's no way this is real, right?
Bro, and people are still voting women into positions of power, bro.
Do you guys not understand?
No.
What you've done?
No, this
How
has
do
to
you
be,
not understand?
this has to be fucking fake. Can somebody get me the link of her TikTok right now?
There are only 19 days left before a nuclear reactor is installed inside of the Colorado River Basin. There are only 17 days before a nuclear...
Could you imagine how different her life would be if she actually was just married and had a bunch of children that she was busy raising? Like, this would not be stressing her out if she had, like, 5 children.
reactor is turned on.
Guys, we've got to turn off voting. We've got to turn it off. We've got to stop. We got to stop this before it...
How do you not understand what you've done? How do you not understand? How do you not understand? How do you not understand?
You really want to know a black pill? Look at men and women's approval and support for nuclear power. Percentage support the use of nuclear power. Only 30% of women.
Bro, they should not have the right to vote sometimes. Sometimes, you know, I see this and I'm like, we gotta just remove the 19th. Bro, all of Europe is dying of heat right now because they decided to cut themselves on energy. There are more deaths in Europe from heat than in America from guns, okay? Do you understand? They're like, well, actually, our economy is gay and retarded, so you can't use air conditioning. And they are literally dying. They're dying of heat, bro.
Men support nuclear power, and 74% of men support nuclear power. So this is the reason why. Women are... This is... All right. Women are evolved to, in my opinion, to be as risk avoidant as possible. Because the women that were not risk avoidant lost more of their kids, and those genes probably did not propagate and procreate.
Yeah, that's a really good theory. I don't think that's the explanation, but it's a theory.
Oh man!
Oh, she's going through it. Oh my God.
You have to stop! I don't have anything. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Hi, I'm a woman. I'm risk avoidant. I would like to import 1 million retarded cannibals into my country immediately.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
This goes on.
I don't care about your stupid credentials to make yourself feel better. You're not smart. Oppenheimer even said it, and now I've become death.
The destroyer of worlds. You're getting a nuclear power plant, okay, Karen? It's going to be right next to your house.
And you guys claim that nuclear is safer than a chair. Have you seen your ads? You lie to others when you lie to yourself. Why would you do this? What the hell is wrong with you?
SSRI crash out. I guess so, guys.
Dude, yeah, we're just absolutely mind-breaking libtards with the most basic shit of all time, and you're blackpilling weak, I tell you. It's just crazy to witness how easily emotionally manipulated a lot of women are on a massive scale, and they've just completely and utterly sold out our civilization because they are utterly emotionally manipulated and gaslighted into thinking that all these things are bad and evil and horrible, and therefore it's bad. So they're emotionally manipulated into the poor cannibal in Haiti, and then they'll import 1 million of them, and then they'll be emotionally manipulated, the poor environment, and then they will literally destroy our nuclear and society, and then they will be told about how guns kill, and they'll be like, we should just ban guns, even though obviously the Second Amendment is incredibly pivotal to our nation. In my opinion, I don't really think it's evolutionary risk avoidant. I think it's women are more emotional than men. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing, actually, in specific respects. I think when it comes to child rearing, for example, I think being more emotional as opposed to strictly logical is actually a good thing. It's almost like men and women are inherently and biologically different with different roles in society, and that's a good thing, too. That's a good thing! That's actually awesome! All right, but yeah, that does not lead women to necessarily be a good judge, let's say, for example, or a good politician, maybe even, or necessarily someone whose opinions in regards to mass migration and nuclear, something that I actually care about. No one wants to say this because everyone will say, but what about that one woman that's like an exception to the rule? Okay, all right, you could have that one woman that's an exception to the rule, and I will point out to you every single one that's voting to import 1 million retarded cannibals into our country, where, let's be real, they are the victims. You know, today seems like a really good day to conquer the UK. I would support it. I think it would be a wonderful thing to do. All of Europe is in shambles. We gotta see what our homies, our neighbors, people of our similar background are doing, because it's really sad. Now, first and foremost, the Donald had a chilling prediction.
I don't know anything. I see that he was, I guess, the mayor of a town. I hear he's extremely liberal. Extremely. So that means he probably won't open up the North Sea. You know, I gave Keir Starmer some pretty good advice. I said, open up the North Sea. Go to Aberdeen, which was the hottest city in the whole continent. It was the oil city. It was the oil of Europe. And they closed everything. It was terrible. I saw it before my eyes, and I couldn't believe it.
They were so woke, they killed their civilization.
Come to see me. Sir, could you give us access to the UK? We would do anything to drill in the North Sea. And they haven't even found what's there. The amazing thing is they buy their oil from Norway, which gets the oil from the North Sea. Think of it. And they pay a big premium. Norway's got now $2 trillion in the bank. And
this is like a Monty Python skit. It's insane. It's actually crazy. Like, so again, that is how woke they are. They're so woke, they don't want to dig for oil because of the environment. Now they're all dying and they have no energy and it's just miserable. All right, now news. An African migrant has been charged with rape and murder after the body of a 2-year-old girl was found in his property in Surrey. This is just daily in the UK. You wake up, A retarded cannibal from the third world murdered a 2-year-old after raping them, and you just go out life. That's just how it works. Now, Shuan had responded with this guy. Now, for those of you that are unaware, this is Citizen Vigilante. It's a new movie. It's #1 on all the charts. I haven't seen it yet, but apparently it's like a mid-movie. But it's basically about a guy who kills a bunch of rapist Muslims. And everyone's like, wow, I actually really like that because I really don't like rapist Muslims. Now, I would never personally say that all Muslims are rapists. I wouldn't take that chance. So, this guy says, no point in bailing the boat when traders are chopping holes in the bottom. First the traders, then the invaders, and Elon Musk responds with yes. All right, responding to the Citizen Vigilante meme. Now, watch Citizen Vigilante last night, says Patrick Bet-David. There's a reason why. It's the #1 movie on Apple. It taps into the rage millions of people feel when their own government won't protect them or their children. No wonder why Germany and several other countries banned it. Why would they ban it? Why would they ban this? John Wick is about some dude murdering a bunch of guys that stole his dog. Citizen Vigilante is literally murdering rapists. I would argue that that's so much more moral. What are we even talking about? But they banned it. You know why? It's because they love rape. It's because the left loves rape. And that's my opinion. I get into a lot of trouble for saying it. I think the left just loves rape. That's why they import a bajillion rapists, because they love rape. They just think of Browns raping and they're like, yes, please. They love it, probably. It charges them with fucking retarded satanic sexual power or something to steal mystical energy from Satan or something. I don't know what they're planning. I personally don't love rape, so I can't possibly put myself in their mindset, but I'm trying to figure it out. So stop raping, sir, is what I would say. Now, Adam, this is a Pakistani Muslim who lives in England and makes believe he's based. I hope this Jewish-made, Israeli-distributed film that encourages white people to kill Muslims. Notice how white is lowercase and Muslims is uppercase. And is pushed by the most powerful people on the earth. Finally wakes up with some white nationalists to the counter-jihad hate psyop they've fallen for. You fell for it, guys. You fell for it. You've been taken for a ride. The people pushing this are not your friend. They are your enemy. That's right. You were tricked by the Jews into stopping Muslims from raping white people? W Jews? W Jews, let's go Jews. I'm really not sure what we're doing here, guys. I am against Muslims raping white people, and apparently the Jews on a whole have pushed out some anti-Muslim rapist propaganda. The Jews tricked you into hating getting raped. Yep, that's right, Goyim, you've been played. Hi, I'm Muslim, and I'm getting a bit worried about people's behaviors coming back to bite us. Hey, look over there, it's the Jews. Yeah, many such cases. Obviously, this was the reaction to a lot of people in regards to the fact that all of a sudden people don't like getting raped by Muslims. I know, people used to be fine with getting raped by Muslims when no one knew what was happening, and now people know what's happening, and people aren't happy about it. So obviously, this is the response we've been receiving from a lot of people. So Mehdi Hassan has been saying, maybe the Europeans should have thought about all that back when they were colonizing Africa in the 19th century. Got 'em! This is because, obviously, this is the French team. The French team is just, in the World Cup is all Africans. So he's like, you should have thought about that back when you were colonizing them. Now, the coolest part is because 2 days before this, he made this tweet, great replacement is a literal neo-Nazi conspiracy theory. So this guy will say, great replacement is a neo-Nazi conspiracy theory, and then literally 2 days later, he will say, you are being replaced, and it's because of revenge. It's so incredible how they all know this, and they will still utilize language to try to manipulate you. Isn't that incredible? Thanks for the sub, Axel Madness. I think it's so awesome that they're doing this. It's really awesome. The same people who cheered for John Wick killing dozens of people to avenge his dog are super mad about a vigilante killing Muslim rapists. And to everyone that's out there being like, this is Islamophobic, are you saying all Muslims are rapists? No, this is only about rapists. I don't know what you're talking. It's a total coincidence that they're Muslims. Now, of course, Piers Morgan sees there's some blood in the water, so he decides to get this Lebanese, Jewish, Canadian professor guy on his show to talk about how Muslims rape people a lot.
The full disclosure, we wanted you to debate with him. You don't like to do debates. Out of interest, why don't you like doing debates?
That's a great question. I'm always happy to debate someone if a priori I feel that both parties could potentially have some means of being swayed away from their anchored position if the appropriate evidence were presented to them, right? So
that is a really good take. And anyway, he then gets asked the ultimate Giga question about per capita.
But what do we do with people who are not Muslim but commit similar crimes?
We punish them like we would anybody else, right? There are Jewish pedophiles that should be punished. No one is contesting that. I'm Jewish. I think they should deserve the exact same punishment as anybody else. That doesn't take away from the fact that when we're looking at the British grooming gangs for the past 30 years, most of them are not named Mordechai Richter. They're named Muhammad Akbar Hussein.
It's a coincidence.
That is true, that the grooming gangs in places like Rotherham and Telford in the north of England were predominantly British Pakistani Muslim men, and they were committing their crimes, horrendous crimes, against many thousands of young white English girls.
That's pretty bad, right?
So that's
pretty
an
horrible.
appalling scandal. It wasn't exposed by Tommy Robinson, as he likes to claim. It was exposed by a journalist at the Times newspaper.
cares?
In
Who
a big
cares
front
who
page
exposed it?
exposé that started it. I don't dispute and never have done that Robinson...
By the way, he's only admitting this now because they slaughtered him like 5 times before where he denied it, by the way.
Hasn't banged the drum about this quite properly, because he's right. It was a scandal that was then covered up, and it was covered up because people didn't want to confront the reality of who was perpetrating these crimes and against whom they were doing it. And the whole thing, frankly, was a complete disgrace. Now, having said that, it's also true that the vast majority of sexual crime in the UK is committed by white men, right? And again, I simply say...
Yes, because 94% of England are white people. It is crazy that we are doing this.
If everyone's focus is only on sex crimes by Muslim men, and therefore used as a stick to beat Islam with generally, even though the vast majority of 2 billion Muslims in the world do not
capita
commit sex
strikes
crimes,
again.
then there's a problem right there, isn't there?
Right. Again,
I love how Piers Morgan is literally arguing for rape equity.
I think we discussed it last time, the per capita issue. It is incontestable.
I understand the per capita, yeah. I understand that.
Well, so then that addresses the question. Go ahead.
Well, not really, because per capita means that, yes, if you have more white people, you are more likely, and you have a disproportionate number of a certain ethnicity committing crimes, then you can say there's a per capita thing. The problem with that...
Did you hear how he just glossed over the fact that 6.5% of the population is committing 87% of the gang rapes? Like, is that not incredible? That's not just a little per capita thing.
That grooming gang scandal, the problem with sex...
Bro, you gotta go-explain to this guy immediately how retarded he is.
Crimes in the UK generally, particularly involving young people, is there is not really a proper breakdown to assess. So when people keep bringing up this, per capita thing,
That's right.
I understand.
6.5% of the population have raped, are 87 to 95% of the gang rapes.
Understand the meaning of it, obviously, but there's not the information available to make that assessment in most of the cases. And that, again, I think is a problem.
Right. But to link it back to suicidal empathy, look, the most fundamental instinct that human beings have, other than to survive, is to protect their children. So imagine that British authorities, whether they be the politicians or the police authorities, said, here are a bunch of children that are being systematically tortured and raped by a particular group of people. And when we're looking at the competing calculus of either protecting our children or demonstrating who is the culprit in those particular cases, let us say, hey, girls, take one for the team because we don't want to create Islamophobia. That's the suicidal empathy, notwithstanding the fact of what you said, which is, of course, white men also commit rapes. Of course, Jewish men also commit rapes. It doesn't take away from the singular tragedy of the grooming gangs that comes from suicidal empathy.
Yeah, anyway, it's just miserable watching this guy run defense for rape gangs every time. And then, of course, you got Myron, one of the most intelligent people on the planet. He goes out there to explain how Muslims actually don't dislike the West at all.
The reason why these places have issues, why these countries have issues with the United States is because of our support of Israel. It is not...
That is right. The reason why Muslims are raping British girls is because Israel... There we go, baby. Brown clownery through the roof.
Because of our Western civilization. That's a lie.
That's a lie. Muslims love Western civilization. Notoriously, which is why they have tried to conquer it multiple times over the last 1,300 years.
Because I'll tell you guys right now, if it was them hating Western civilization, why are Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Qatar, and all these other Muslim countries westernizing right now?
Because they're not as religious.
The UAE literally wants people to come to their country.
Yeah, because they're not as religious, exactly. And they still have slaves and Christian slaves in Qatar, for example. But it's like incredible. It's like the reason why Muslims are raping British girls is because of the Jews. Yup. And it's crazy because it's every time with these guys.
Well, go on.
So are you Muslim?
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
So what do you think about the UK? Do you think it's a good country?
About what?
Do you speak English or what?
Yeah, I mean, like, about you good for what?
You mean you like you like the country? Are you proud? Do you respect the country?
Yeah, not gonna lie.
So what if where are you from? Are you like Lebanese or something?
Yeah, no, I'm Kurdish.
Kurdish. What if Kurdistan? What if Kurdistan went to war with England? Who would you fight for?
I'm not gonna fight for. The only thing I'm gonna fight for my religion. I'm gonna fight for Islam. I'm not gonna fight for my country.
So you're gonna fight for Kurdistan then?
No, I'm not gonna fight for Kurdistan, bro.
You're gonna fight for Islam. So what does that mean?
Like I'm gonna fight for Islam. I'm not gonna fight for my country because my country is not. You see, too many people dying for.
Your country is Islam?
Yeah, my country is Islam.
No, because I take that offensive because I'm Muslim as well, my guy.
Yeah, you're Muslim? So let me ask you the same question I asked him. If a Muslim country went to war with the UK, who would you side with?
Obviously the Muslim country.
We are literally importing people into our nation that side with our enemies, bro. What are we doing?
Obviously the Muslim country, eh? So you're a traitor to the UK?
Traitor to what? The government. The government done nothing for us. The hell?
Exactly.
Literally giving them free food. It's crazy. They're literal traitors. And every single person that gets asked this question has the same answer. It's wild. They all do this. It's crazy. So Joe Rogan finally addressed the rape gang inquiry report because this story is not containable anymore.
Yeah, so we're looking at it right now. It says this is on National Review, the UK's horrific rape gangs. So is this the rape gang inquiry report, right? So who put this report out? Members of Parliament and Restore Britain party leader Rupert Lowe. And so the investigators had limited powers, such as inability to compel witnesses or require a sort of document production that could corroborate some of the most heinous victims. Viewed with those limitations in mind, the independent report is a damning collection of victim testimonies that vividly portray the sexual terrorism that occurred nationwide for decades. Yeah, so we're looking at it right now.
That's pretty awful, isn't it? Wow, this is really getting everywhere. I still find it weird that all the people that were really, really gung-ho about the Epstein files still are not mentioning this, which is objectively way worse. So weird. No Moist Critical video, no CoffeeZilla video. It's so weird, and no one seems to talk about this one. Interesting. Now, Tucker Carlson had some really interesting things to say about England as a whole. First, he calls Tommy Robinson a fraud because obviously Tommy Robinson exposed Muslim rape gangs and he loves Muslim rape gangs. So obviously that he's not a fan of that. So Clash Report, a Turkish media outlet, decided to post this really interesting comment by Tucker Carlson.
To undermine Britain's democracy. That he's...
Britain's what?
Democracy.
You guys don't have a democracy. What are you talking about?
We do. We do have a democracy, and we can talk about all of those issues.
George Galloway would be the prime minister if you had a democracy.
We can talk.
If you had a democracy, George Galloway would be the prime minister. Now, this seems like a relatively innocuous comment, but it turns out Tucker Carlson is a subversion agent for a very long time. George Galloway is a communist, married to a Muslim. You literally can't make this up. In fact, this is a George Galloway clip.
Now, how any American can be against immigration when every single one of them is from immigrant stock always amuses me.
Yup, this is the guy Tucker Carlson thinks should be the Prime Minister of England. That's right. How could an American be against immigration? Because Americans are immigrants. Americans aren't immigrants. Americans are settlers. Settlers that came from Europe, not immigrants from Sudan. All right, I'm not being out of lying. All right, this is the same George Galloway. The Red Army lost 600,000 soldiers liberating Poland alone. That's it. That's the tweet. Extra comment, literal community note. Soviet Army liberating Poland perpetrated mass rape, deportations, and murder, created a puppet state. Only some communists in Poland unironically refer to those events as liberation. Similar stories of liberation come from Baltic states. So he's just a communist genocidal freak. Interesting. Now, Sneeko, of course, had a lot to say in regards to Muslim migration into the UK also.
We do not owe you a thing. I don't care if it's the roughest seas. I don't care if it's a hurricane. I don't care if it's a tornado. I don't care if it's Godzilla and you're on a little rubber dinghy. The chance of you stepping foot in the UK is precisely zero. It is zero, and it will remain zero. And there is a reason for that. The reason is respect for the people who died for our great country.
Wait, so our country? Huh?
Something that nobody in the current political class has. British men died for British soil. It is not foreigners' soil, and they have no right to it. It is not a line on a map. It is an island defended by the lives of the brave. If you get on a boat, we won't let you in. We have no obligation to save you from that boat.
You're doing the same thing that Elon Musk is doing, pretending to be British and also pretending to be American. Well, Elon Musk is an African migrant, and Top Goy is in Romania right now because he wanted to go cam girl pimp there.
I love how he doesn't see the difference between importing 60 IQ cannibals from the third world that didn't invent the wheel to importing Elon Musk, a trillionaire from a white European-based trillionaire who, lived in South Africa. I love how he doesn't see any difference at all because he's retarded. It's so incredible. So they released new footage from England during the stabbing of Henry Novak, and it's so bad.
They released additional body cam from Henry Nowak case. Newly released police body cam from December 3rd, 2025 shows Vikram Digwa murdering 18-year-old student Henry Nowak, falsely claiming Nowak assaulted him and racially knocked off his turban. Officers responded sympathetically to Digwa, reassuring him without handcuffs, while earlier video captured them dismissing Nowak's pleas as he bled out from a five stab wounds. Okay, let's watch this. To face Henry Nowak's killer.
Dude, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Pushed my turban off my head, started grabbing my uncle.
No, he pushed my turban. So I stabbed him 5 times.
So I'm a seat. Oh. And he started grabbing on my hair, started dragging me around. Yeah. And obviously from there, altercations happened. My brother's only seen it, stopped it, and that's when he then started stumbling around, started climbing around all these sort of bits and bobs.
He was stumbling around.
So literally, I saw him from there, from the get-go, from there. I saw, look, mate, you clearly are obviously drunk. I said to him, carry on with your day. He said that, and then he started just escalating the situation, pulled me up and all this sort of stuff.
As Digwa claims racism, attempts to save Henry Nowak's life are underway nearby. But it's the glare in Digwa's eyes from 99 lights that seem to be bothering him.
So you turn the flashes off, sorry.
We can't, I'm afraid.
Is it over here then, so it's not too much in my eyesight? So this is when he got me in the face a fair few good times as well.
Imagine doing this shit.
So you've had an altercation with this guy?
Yeah.
Digwa never mentions that he stabbed Henry Nowak multiple times. Later, when asked by a police officer about a cut on Henry's face, he is evasive.
Do you know how he's got that wound then? How's he got that wound?
What wound, sorry?
Well, you said he's got blood on him. How's he?
It must have been where he punched him, but he did fall over here, so he was climbing all over these bins and stuff like that.
Oh, he fell down and hurt himself.
Then he fell over and then landed onto that car.
Okay.
Oh. Video time code suggests Henry had stopped breathing 13 minutes earlier, so he's dead at this point.
Unreal.
Just before midnight, officer wearing the body camera makes a decision.
Okay, mate, right. This is really important, okay?
This is really important.
The time now is 11:55. Okay, it's important, mate. All right, at this time, I'm arresting you on suspicion of attempted murder. Okay? Do not have to say anything.
Attempted murder? He stabbed him 5 times, and he literally died.
It may harm your defence if you don't mention when questioned, something which you may later write in court. Anything you do so may be given evidence.
Why am I getting arrested?
Necessity for a prompt and effective investigation.
I didn't do anything.
Okay, and
these people are fucking monsters. Monsters and animals that we're importing into our countries. Under the guise of empathy. Manipulating women into thinking that this should happen. They create these little fucking ethnic enclaves to give themselves power to import more of them. Holy shit.
For any further harm and injury. You've got your side of the story, mate. We don't know what's going on here. Okay, so we need to find out, okay?
The length of the police body cam footage is 9 minutes. Digwa is never handcuffed.
With the gentleman that I've run through. Have we got a van at all that I can get him down to Central? Okay, and we'll get it all sorted, all right? I'm not saying...
Listen, I don't know what the Sikh rule is for getting raped in prison, but you better get used to it, buddy. Your butthole is about to become a 4-lane parkway.
You done anything, mate? But we need to find out
I love how they're literally asking this guy permission. Hey, sir, would you mind if we arrest you, please?
what's happened, okay?
Mate, I've been raised.
I know.
I've been
racially attacked. I know.
Been racially attacked. No, I'm not a murderer. I was racially attacked.
Okay. I know. But we don't know what's going on, mate. He's...
dead.
Not going to tell him that the
He's
guy's
dead.
dead, so it's not going to scare the guy and make him run away. I think that's probably what happened. British police never handcuffed the man who murdered Henry Noak. The police only handcuffed Henry as he was bleeding out. So let me get this straight. They don't handcuff the guy that they think could be on suspicion of murder, but they do handcuff the guy that's bleeding out that can barely speak. From an officer safety standpoint, this is absolutely insane. You have a guy that's been stabbed and you're arresting the guy who did it, who clearly has a knife. You don't think that he might stab you as a cop. Well, no, you can't say that they might stab you, because if you do that, that would be racist. Such a different interaction. Two-tier policing is clear as daylight.
Oh, I can't breathe. You've been stabbed? Whereabouts? Don't think you have, mate.
with the gentleman that I've run through, okay, and we'll get it all sorted, all right? I'm not saying you've done anything, mate.
Yeah, and Tucker Carlson thinks George Galloway is going to be the president. Pro-migration communist. Yeah, absolutely. Now, all of Europe is actually getting cucked right now as we speak. German feminist Verena Buschenweiger promotes slogan, "My lineage ends with me." She calls on white people to not have children. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, it's unreal. It's literally unreal. My bloodline ends with me, but we have to take in all the refugees. All the refugees. Now, while they are killing themselves one way, they're killing themselves another way too. 62,800 Europeans died from the heat of the summer of 2024. 15,000 U.S. firearm homicides in all of 2024. Understand what that means. That's like, if you account for a population, it's like three times the amount of death from the heat, because they're so woke, they didn't have energy and air conditioning. It is an entire culture, a civilization that's killing itself as they preach from their ivory towers to how we need to be woker. We need to be more woke. We need to kill ourselves, but wokely.
About air conditioners discourse, this is going viral. Okay, let me look at it. The European Commission literally...
It's so sad. It's
shut off air conditioning, but only for floors 1 through 7, where the people of lower rank work.
That's right. You're lower on the caste system of Europe. Can you believe this is Europe, not India? All right. Of Europe, you're lower on the caste system, and therefore, you're not going to have air conditioning, and you're going to die. Because we want to sustain the environment, so we're just going to kill you now.
The European Commission headquarters was forced to shut down its air conditioning system on Friday due to the heat wave. Staff received a text at midday reading, "Due to extreme weather conditions,
more people died in 1 year in Europe from heat because they were too woke to use air conditioners than died in Gaza over the pretendicide." Understand how cooked we are. Holy, air conditioning is a right-wing white supremacist concept.
Shutdown of air cooling system from floor 1 to 7 for the rest of the day. The 13-story building is home to the commission president Ursula von Who Gives a Fuck. It's that blonde bitch. Von der Leyen works on the 13th floor, and most of our commissioners' offices are housed on floors 8 and above.
Weird,
In
huh?
a more righteous time, this would be grounds for a revolution. There's a whole viral discourse on Twitter. Europeans don't want to buy AC. They would rather die. My embarrassment.
Do you understand the level of emotional manipulation these people are retarded? All right, leftism is literally a death cult. Literally a death cult. They will not have children on purpose. Not just because they're lazy. They will not have children, like, ideologically speaking. They don't want to have children. They just want to import infinite retards from the third world instead. All right, and they will literally kill themselves with every possible policy that they come up with.
Poverty tier solution to this heat, I could absolutely afford one of those portable AC units. But at this point, it's, you know what? We need to stop giving aid to Haiti and to Somalia, and we need to start giving aid to Europe.
Disagree. We should liberate them. We should colonize Europe. Disagree. I don't like aid. The term aid is cringe. I don't want to give aid to anybody. All right, we could trade. We could make trades. That's what I have to say, and I think that would be awesome.
They're our heritage brothers, and they're literally being burned.
We'll colonize them. It'll be awesome.
Burned alive. Please, please, no.
Oh, that's nice.
Look at his voice.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's nice. You have no idea. You don't even understand.
Bro, these people are literal cattle. Like these are goy cattle. Like these are actual retarded people. They've shoveled the goy slop into their system for years, and now they are there spritzing fans to cool themselves like fucking elephants. All right, this is how elephants cool themselves. You know, they fill their tree trunk with shit and they shower themselves with their own spit. All right, this is crazy. We are literally witnessing the devolution of mankind.
Dan, what you're missing out on.
This is like giraffes spitting on their own necks to cool themselves off in the fucking safari. This is crazy.
Just so you know, this increases the room's heat capacity. This directly makes the room hotter.
It does, right? That's true.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Do you want to know why I didn't know that? Because I have,
Do you have an air conditioner?
Air conditioning. So I'm learning new things about heat distribution from Europeans. I never needed to know that.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's nice. Ask Google.
You know, and we're laughing about it, but they're literally dying. They're dying. They're not just suffering in the heat like retarded moron homosexuals. They're literally dying. 60,000 deaths in a summer? Hello?
Heat-related deaths in U.S. versus EU. I'm going to just do grok. The amount of heat deaths in America are 1,000 to 2,000. The amount of heat deaths in Europe are 61,000 to 67,000.
And that's per year. The war in Gaza, all right, was 3 years. Holy shit. Literally triple the amount of Europeans died of gay heat than Palestinians in Gaza in a pretendicide in a war that they started. Holy shit. Oh my god.
Oh my god. More than gun deaths? Yeah, how many gun deaths? So let me get this straight. Over there in Europe,
And they're out there and they're virtue signaling. America is so barbaric. The way Americans have guns and shit dies of fucking heat. Because they're too woke to turn on the air conditioner.
Talking shit about us being a lawless country with a bunch of gun deaths. And we lose to bullets and you lose to air. You have more people dying to fucking not having air conditioning than we have.
Bro, and we don't even need to get into like the racial makeup. Your white people are... I'm sorry.
Dying to guns. You need an amendment, not for guns, but for air conditioning. You need an air conditioning amendment. Ooh, you're not gonna like this. How many Birdmans are we gonna get in chat now?
Motherfucker, do you know who I am? You're looking at the #1 Blanca player on PlayStation in the world.
Europe has the highest per capita rate of heat deaths globally.
By the way...
Oh my god, bro! That is embarrassing. It is embarrassing that more Europeans are dying per capita to heat than Africans. That is embarrassing. Pierce Morgan in shambles. This is horrible.
I literally went to check myself because I couldn't believe Europe could have a higher heat death rate than places like Africa or even India. But it makes sense. Those regions have way younger populations, and Europe is full of old people with almost no air conditioning in homes built to trap heat rather than release it. That combination is what makes it so deadly.
And we even have fat people here. And fat people overheat really fast.
Literally, civilizational suicide because of woke mind retardation. Holy shit. It's almost like that they should just follow the word of God and follow the biblical foundation of your civilization, and you would be living in paradise. You wouldn't be cucked, you'd have an economy, or you wouldn't be dying of heat wherever you go. Oh my god, it's actually miserable watching these people kill themselves. So when it comes to woking too close to the sun, it is wonderful watching the entire community come together to commit collective seppuku. It's glorious. All right, so Super Goyle came out. It's Super Goy, it's huge, it's big, it's the DCU, it's a massive franchise, you know it's gonna do well. It literally did worse than Morbius in the box office. All right, and obviously the libtards are coping. They're crashing out. They're making believe it was all part of the plan. They've exposed misogyny. I'm pretty sure it was written by Jews because Hollywood, and obviously that's what they do. So yeah.
Supergirl movie is floundering. No tickets sold and getting terribly reviewed. Oh, really?
You know.
Oy vey! Oy vey! The girl boss isn't working! Oy vey! Oh, no! I can't believe it. I'm in shock, personally.
Supergirl movie is floundering. No tickets sold and getting terribly reviewed. Oh, really?
You know, we have no formula, I guess.
Supergirl.
You mean people don't enjoy watching a little girl boss go out there and beat the shit out of guys and have no plot or personality?
Debuts on Rotten Tomatoes, 59%. Supergirl is a super horrendous comic book movie with the worst script that I can remember. Man, that's
let's go. They were like, we're going to take a girl, we're going to make her super, and everyone's going to love it. And it turns out no one loved it. Woke is cancer. It really is. No one's into this. No one's in. I cannot think of a single, like, good female role model in, like, a modern movie or show. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that insane?
Bad, huh? Another female superhero movie bombing.
Whoopsie daisy! Whoopsie daisy!
According to IMDb, the woman who wrote this film only written short films in 2018 and nothing else. She's also writing the next Wonder Woman and Teen Titans films. How do you achieve that from one short film?
You know exactly how. You know how. It's all about slopaganda. This is CIA propaganda. It literally is. There's unbelievable, outstanding evidence that the CIA works with Hollywood when they produce their slopaganda to manipulate people into becoming girl bosses, not get married, and abort their children. It's all part of the plan. Nux, it's just a conspiracy theory. Well, you know, I used to be like, listen, man, I don't like have connections in Hollywood or anything to say that I know this firsthand. Listen, not every Jew is connected to Hollywood, okay? But I literally have Hollywood connections now. And I have heard from firsthand evidence that there are satanic people that are doing this shit. I'm just saying, I actually heard firsthand from a direct source. All right, Roseanne Barr literally told me she saw it with her own eyes. I'm just saying, the Jew connections are in full effect.
Pre-sales for the first screening of Supergirl. And let me guess, the orange...
No one wanted to see this shit. Not even one person. No one wanted to see this. Bro. What dude would, and I'm not saying this because I support what I'm about to say, but what dude would rather go to sit for 2.5 hours watching Supergirl over rewatching The Dark Knight for the 1000th time or Lord of the Rings? Like, literally, why would you go to Supergirl if you could just watch Lord of the Rings again? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just being real. I'm just being completely real. That's right. And it's not even controversial to say. Bro, why would you go to Supergirl if you could watch porn? Again, I don't support it. I don't think that's good or healthy. But like, bitch, you are defeated by free cell phone websites, okay?
Which ones are the ones that are sold?
Have you heard from the fans, specifically from the LGBT community, about how they've been able to relate to your character?
I've just had a few...
Bro, if the LGBT community relates to your character, then your character is shit, ugly, and potentially suicidal. I'm just saying.
People ask me about her and about her because it's Pride Month and all that, and I think that she's a really great representation of what a modern woman can be. A
modern woman could totally be an alien space witch that's superpowered. Yes! An alien space witch that's superpowered and beating up men. That's what you can be too, girl. Yeah.
Be strong, she can be tough, she can be messy. I love how this film doesn't center around any...
I love how it's literally just terrible, awful, nightmarish, ideological influence on women.
Sort of love, you know? It doesn't center around romance or anything like that at all. And
The left, who cannot define a woman, by the way, are creating really bad women characters. No one saw this coming. Thanks for the 500 kicks, random doll.
Such resilience.
Why is that like a good thing?
I love how Citizen Vigilante... a show about killing Muslim rapists, is literally doing better than Supergirl from the DCU.
necessarily. So then who's it for?
A big problem in the movie is I didn't find Kara to be particularly likable for a lot of it. She's the basic hot mess crash out disaster that's posturing herself as the...
You know why? Because I wonder what the writers are. I realized this recently. The reason why they're so defensive of you attacking their characters in movies is because
they do it to emulate themselves.
the characters are self-inserts. It's because they think that they're the characters.
But even by the end, I didn't feel the ending.
And they're all miserable, unhappy, depressive, friendless retards. Isn't that incredible? I think that's incredible.
Was earned for an arc of someone stepping up to be the person they're supposed to be, you know, to be a hero. The whole thing feels forced.
The problem, I think, of what happens whenever your identity politics and intersectionality tier list takes precedence over telling a good story, this story is then replaced by an ideology. You can't have women that make really bad mistakes or that do anything wrong in a genuine way, because in doing so, it would be placing a female in a position that is not advantageous or makes them look bad.
But it's also because these are miserable people that traded away what they actually want in life, husband / children, and they're trading all of that away directly because they think that they are becoming a superhero. They're becoming a superhero and really awesome and stuff. And shit like that, and yeah, that's what they're doing, and it's awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
Because of that, all of the female stories nowadays are unearned success.
What I liked the best part of this Supergirl movie, Jason Momoa as Lobo. Yeah. Is it ironic that
I think everybody's wanted him to be Lobo. People have wanted this forever.
The best part of Supergirl is the main man?
The best part of Supergirl is the main male actor. Wow. Many such cases.
This was the incredible script that was apparently by implication better than the rest. This was pretty rough.
So didn't Supergirl actress say the movie isn't for
missed opportunity? They should have made Jason Momoa Supergirl.
Christian dads? I don't think that anybody cares about that. This is the reality. It's like the reason why it was a big deal that like Rachel Zegler said that about Snow White.
It's really not about the love story at all. The guy who literally stalks her.
Weird.
Because Snow White was a huge franchise. What I'm saying is like nobody knows enough about the movie to even care enough to boycott it.
But in honor of Pride Month, as I'm getting all these questions, I don't know. I think that what makes this film so beautiful is that it's not centered around a man. It's not centered around love at all. I don't know.
It's great.
We hate love because we are miserable and lonely, and we want you to be miserable and lonely just like me.
Both ways.
We're so gay.
What the fuck?
We're all gay. We're all retarded. Now, apparently, it flopped so badly. Everyone is talking about the legendary flop that we have witnessed. And I will pray on their downfall, yes.
Supergirl will be a historically awful flop, looking at a 9-figure loss for DC Comics. And regardless of how well or horribly received the movie actually is, it was doomed before opening day.
There's been a lot of discussion online about Kara's queerness in the comics. Was that something that you explored when...
I love how gay she is. It makes me so happy when she rubs her vagina against another woman in my imagination. And then she commits suicide and gets domestically abused. Because statistically, that's what happens.
You were preparing for the role.
It wasn't, but in honor of Pride Month, as I'm getting all these questions.
In honor of Pride Month, I'm going to be a terrible role model for women.
I don't know. I think that what makes this film so beautiful is that it's not centered around a man. It's not centered.
Yeah. Fuck
around
love.
Love it.
Yeah, we hate love. You know, it's honestly pretty incredible if you think about it. How like love is obviously a beautiful concept. It's obviously a biblical concept. To love is super important. To love God, to love your family, to love your fellow man. And they hate love. Isn't that incredible? They hate love and they love pride. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's like, it's almost like Satan wrote the script.
If anything.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't really know, but I don't know. I don't know.
It's great.
She'd probably go both ways.
Why in the world do we even need to speculate who she would date, especially when the source material already has an answer. It's just more woke nonsense being shoehorned into established lore, since a small population online refuses to support anything they're not overwhelmingly represented in. Not to mention, this isn't the first time woke actors revise source material from a traditional love story into more feminist nonsense.
What makes this film so beautiful is that it's not centered around a man, it's not centered around love at all.
We hate love, but we love pride.
And we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love.
As originally, that backlash looked like it was going to also result in a 9-figure loss for Disney. But actually, it was much worse. Looking at a 170
Bro, they got mugged by Morbius! That's crazy.
$1 million loss, not even including any marketing costs. They could easily double this loss, as Supergirl is looking at a similar situation, opening at $38 million, the lowest start for a DC title after costing over $180 million. I'm no math Asian, but 38 seems a bit smaller than 180 million, as I wouldn't be surprised if the same situation also resulted in another 9-figure loss, which at this point, I refuse to believe they're accidentally doing this.
I'm so glad he's saying that. I've been saying this for a long time. They know these movies will fail, and they give these movies to these retarded lib shits that are going to go out there and they're going to promote their ideal version of themselves, the girl boss, the miserable, lonely girl boss, to promote it to children that you could also be a girl boss, and you don't need no man, actually. And they are going to do their best to continue pushing this forever, because in my opinion, this is CIA propaganda. It's used to destroy culture and manipulate women and to groom them. Literally. If they made a movie about a superhero woman who was saved by a man who she relied on and who protected her, and she loved him, and she decided, you know what, the superhero life is not for me. My husband is really strong and he can handle it, and I'll help him whenever he needs, but for the most part, he got that shit, and I'm gonna have children, and she's unbelievably happy doing that. We're just gonna see a boom of women actually being like, holy shit, I should get married. Holy shit, that would be sick. And they don't want that, actually. So yes, they are sacrificing not just their movie, but their civilization. And yes, that is why The Incredibles is the best conservative movie ever made, ever. It's about a dude who is special and is awesome and is badass, and because he's so much more special, awesome, and badass than everyone else, that the government cucks him and puts him in a cubicle and makes him miserable, and his wife loves it. She's totally fine being cucked and not being a superhero. She's totally fine having a husband and having a family, but she doesn't respect her husband because he doesn't respect himself. So he goes out there and he fucking kicks ass and he saves lives and he becomes a hero and he feels good about himself, and his wife loves him more because he is actually fulfilling his special spot in society. And only then does he actually appreciate who he is, does his wife appreciate who he is, and does society move on with a family with 3 children. Yeah, that's right, baby. That's the most conservative movie ever made, because some people are special.
We really should check if these studio heads aren't betting against their own stock price and just cashing in millions off their shorted stocks, as Supergirl's lead immediately clashed against the comic book fans, stating, simply existing as a woman in that space is commented on. They're comfortable with this weird ownership of women's bodies. This is how it's always been for women, but it's from online anonymous accounts, or someone—
So cry about it. That's my solution. I think you should cry about it. Instead, they decided to blow $180 million on a movie to cry about it instead of just crying about it themselves.
Who describes themselves as a dad of 4 or Christian, which is hilarious to her.
You call yourself a Christian and you don't want your daughter to become a prostitute, a lesbian? Wow. And here I thought you loved people, and you don't even want your daughter to become a prostitute. Crazy.
And
you don't want your daughter to become a miserable cat woman? Wow, you must hate your daughter.
She doesn't care about their opinion, thinking if you're pissing the right kind of people off, you're doing okay. Meaning she doesn't want the approval of Christians, parents, or God forbid, Christian parents, and seems pretty pleased with the idea that they would criticize her. And maybe this would be a winning strategy if your movie was debuting in Gaza, but as long as you're trying to target American audiences and comic book fans, you're probably not gonna want to alienate any parents that would be paying for said movie tickets. But again, they don't see playing a comic book character as entertainment. It's just another soapbox to parrot their liberal talking points. But after all this, I don't even blame the actresses for being insufferable activists. I blame the adults in charge for their questionable casting choices in American superheroes. This is the equivalency of me starting a Christian rock band and asking Doja Cat to be our lead singer, getting that kids creator that somehow also turned out to be a hyper-left activist to get on guitar, then having Ilhan Omar on bass, and then Ben can be on drums. I said this as a joke, but I would actually listen to the Daily Choir Fire. But the difference is, streaming a train wreck song for 20 seconds isn't quite the same as dedicating 4 hours and $100 to see a movie supporting the stars that despise you. As originally...
Why can't we have good movies? Because there's no competition. Hollywood is currently... They just own the market, and they get funded by the CIA, and they work with these gigantic sloperations to... basically shovel goy slop down your throats for eternity, and there's no alternative, which is why I'm so happy about AI. People ask me so often about why I like AI and why I support indie shit. It's because, quite literally, it's the competition. It's the competition. At some point, AI will replace Hollywood, and you will need people to actually create good shit again.
I really enjoyed her portrayal of Rhaenyra in House of the Dragon, where in the beginning, she seemed aware of her intellectual irrelevance.
What's been the most surprising thing is that people care what I have to say. We really care. Don't care. There's nothing going on up here. You. No, we have to thank you.
And I don't see this as her playing blonde bimbo. It's more of having the self-awareness that sudden...
Bro, we have to subscribe to Nux immediately so I can surpass Ben Shapiro and become top Jew.
Stardom doesn't automatically make your opinions any more valid or intelligent. If anything, being an entertainer means you should be doing everything you can to leave your values in secrecy, as you want to entertain everybody, not only the audience that shares all your political...
Bro, you are literally a puppet! You're a puppet! Actors, they just repeat words written by smarter people. Alright, why is anyone taking these people seriously?
Religious and orientations, where Tom Cruise should be the most controversial and divisive star, but since he doesn't jam Scientology into his movies, he still makes millions. But no, not even Game of Thrones is safe.
Do you think Rhaenyra and Alicent were the original heated rivalry?
Ooh, that is a take. Yeah.
I mean,
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Emily always talked about it. We were like, something is going on.
No, like,
something is going on.
There's sapphic...
in the Red Keep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's sapphic smells in here.
Yeah.
As this is...
Not only do they speak, but we give them microphones. What an error. What a blunder. Oh my god.
An allusion to a hockey show featuring two rival dudes that want to do each other. But now it needs to be shoehorned into everything, as even aside from her speculation on a talk show in the next season of Game of Thrones that she isn't in, Hollywood again shoehorned in a lesbian scene because reasons.
I remember that.
Completely forgetting the context of the Asian girl's character. Trauma dumping how she gets used by powerful men. Her horrible experience as a...
Yeah, this is like a rape sex slave victim, and she's like, man, if only a woman could abuse me now. And then they have lesbian sex. Which is funny, because they can't actually have sex. I would describe it, but, you know, we don't need to do that here.
Worker and all of her regrets.
Someone asked me, it's like, why does the Bible say that a man can't sleep with a man, but it doesn't say a woman can't sleep with a woman? And do what, exactly? And what exactly are they supposed to be doing over there? Like, what is the sex?
Queen hears this and immediately makes a move on her, again repeating the cycle of people in power, briefly using her and moving on. It's supposed to be a romantic moment, but it's a short-sighted swipe at wokeness. But not worse than how this prequel show had King's Landing looking incredibly diverse, with equal representation of the globe, forgetting how the original Game of Thrones portrayed it, white, like the UK, which it's based off of, which infers... canonically, between the fall of the kingdom and the rebuilding before Game of Thrones, there was an ethnic cleansing. But worse, the literal second foreign forces of diversity returned to King's Landing, it was immediately burned to the ground again. And I don't think Game of Thrones is secretly pushing MAGA-based border policies. I just think they're short.
They literally have a gigantic ice wall because of the savages on the other side, because that culture is shit. Like, I'm just being real.
Decided woke idiots. And I admit, this makes me a bit of a nerd, but this
The Dothraki suffered from socioeconomic conditions. Yeah, all right, dude.
level of noticing is built in with a comic book audience, but when they try to combine celebrity virtue signaling with superheroes, not only do they alienate their target audience to the tune of $100 million, their brand of woke ideologies will always eventually lose their new woke audience. Even with far-left politicians that live their entire careers in service of these stances, all eventually get canceled themselves.
That's right. It's literally, it's an Ouroboros. It just eats its own shit. It's over.
You gotta get the out my hood, bro. It's free Palestine here. You already know what it is. We against the genocide. You think you gonna come to my neighborhood, bro? You up. You up. It's gonna be a problem.
Scott, I think your legislation on trans issues and your legislation specifically protecting queers on Defender Registry is fantastic. And I think your policy on the genocide in Gaza is terrible. I think you do not belong here. You do not belong here. You do not belong here, Scott, anymore. It's
as Millie can literally say everything to validate her leftist audience, but eventually there's always going to be something we disagree on, and the only thing more impossible than making a profit with woke actors is passing the left's always evolving purity tests.
Many
So
such
they appreciate
cases.
my concise.
Dude, what a wild ride. It is wild watching this absolute destruction take place. Like, they completely killed themselves here. They woke too close to the sun and they broke. And it's over. And they are collapsing, and our culture is dominating. We are going to obliterate these guys. It's only a matter of time. Don't blackpill. We're winning, actually. Man, woke downfalls everywhere. We got Supergirl flopping tremendously. We got the new Avatar flopping tremendously. So Netflix released season 2 of the new Avatar. I did cover the first season when it happened. It was miserable. They completely destroyed the character development of the original characters because they wanted to make Katara a girl boss and not learn any lessons at all, aside from the fact that she is a woman and women are awesome and women are better than men at like all the things literally ever. In fact, I don't even think we need the Avatar anymore. We just need the women involved, all right? We need women, slightly obese women, to prove how fat is beautiful as they completely and utterly curb stomp those pathetic, useless men in order to fight for fake civilization where they make believe they don't actually need males. And you know, the funniest part about it is when you see female cops in action shooting civilians all the time by accident because they're worse, actually, at being cops. It's wild to see. So anyway, Rev just made a video talking about season 2. Apparently everyone is losing their mind. They tried their best, and they failed miserably. Now, season 2, they have the Secret Tunnel. They have Secret Tunnel in season 2. That's my favorite song. And in honor of Pride Month, Secret Tunnel, through the mountains, Secret Tunnel. That's the Pride Month song, as they have homosexual sex, gay sex, which is something they like doing because they hate God. All right, let's see what we got.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I regret to inform you, I discovered there was...
Oh, God. Oh, no.
...a Avatar: The Last Airbender series on Netflix.
Yeah.
By discovering...
Season 1 was a nightmare.
...how bad the second season is. I didn't even know there was a first season, but it appears that Netflix is once again fumbling the bag when it comes to a live-action adaptation. This one is totally brutal, and with the previews we have seen on social media, even promoted by Netflix itself, it looks atrocious. Honestly, a lot of it looks like it's AI generated, and a lot of the dialogue and the sequences that we're seeing don't even make sense.
They be like, no, AI will never replace Hollywood. Hollywood is so good. They will never replace Hollywood with AI. Meanwhile, Hollywood is just using AI. Oh my God.
For the storyline and the characters that are being portrayed. But of course, in true fashion, IGN is out here praising it, saying Avatar: The Last Airbender season,
the kiss of death.
Season 2 builds on the first season with better pacing, a more cohesive tone, and even some improvements on the original series.
Bro, they made Azula fat, bro.
With a whopping 8.
Sure, 8. That's how you know it's bad. All right, if it's 8 or a 9, that's how you know it's really bad.
That's right, an 8 out of 10, a great rating for IGN, so you know it's absolute garbage. Now let's get into this clip right here. Gang's all here. Season 2 is now playing, and I'm going to play a few of these clips, and if Netflix ends up striking me down for this, I'm going to be very disappointed. Not surprised, but disappointed. So just watch this, volume off. It is a catastrophe.
Oh, wow. That's really bad. Oh, my God, the fake fire in the background. Oh, my God! I cannot believe this! I can't believe they did that to Azula, bro! Brother, what is this? This is just, you know, Mulan, but without Ozempic. Jeebus, Fleebus. They got Lizzo to play her. Oh, look at those facial expressions, man.
Absolutely brutal.
Oh, absolute ass. Look at that shit. That's a calamity. That's a Holocaust.
Brutal. Guys, if you told me this was AI generated,
dude, I wouldn't believe you. I wouldn't believe you. AI is way better than this.
Would believe you.
I would not.
I would genuinely
AI would not make something this cringe.
Believe this is AI generated. This looks so bad. In fact,
Japanese Frogan.
This looks like a high school production. It looks like someone's high school project. They and their buddies got some costumes from Spirit Halloween or something and decided to film on their phone. That's how it looks. It's atrocious. It looks really bad. Okay, they thought this went hard. It definitely did not. How did they make it worse than the live action?
Bro, the craziest thing is, like, C-Dance is a new AI, all right, in China, and like this is C-Dance. This was created with C-Dance. That was all AI generated. That's like one prompt. One prompt, brother. And you got that, all right? Like, they just said, do Homelander versus the Avengers. Yeah, we're so cooked. Hollywood is so cooked, bro, because it's only going to get better.
Movie, listen, never underestimate the power of Netflix to make things pure, unadulterated garbage. But the replies are not impressed, and did you expect them to be? Seriously, I've seen AI videos made with C-Dance that had more aura than this. Yeah. This looks like some high school film project with someone using Adobe After Effects. There's no freaking way someone thought this looked cool. I love this cast so much. And the Avatar account says, "That's my gang for real." Oh, guys, how do you do fellow children type energy from Netflix and Avatar right there? But then we got this comment saying we got Fat Azula before GTA 6, which I kind of disagree with. I don't even think she looks like that. I just think the costumes are atrocious.
Bro! She looks like, her cheeks look like a squirrel's cheek. She fat. She fat.
That's my honest opinion.
Nah, she fat.
I don't think she actually is fat in any way. I think the outfits are just so bad and so unappealing, it makes her look bad. Like, that's the main takeaway, right? They just...
she got fucking... She doesn't have, like, cheeks. She has jowls. Okay? All right? You describe her face as having jowls. You don't use that term for normal people. Okay? She looks like the fucking pig Pokemon, the Oinkalone Pokemon. I'll show you. I'll show you a picture of the Oinkalone Pokemon. I don't know how to spell this. Fucking retard. Oinkalone female. Look at this shit. Look at this. You're gonna tell me that they don't look the same? Please. Please. They look identical. This is exactly how she looks. And a lot of people are coping. A lot of people are gonna make believe that it's not true, but that they're lying. You're gonna tell me that this is the same person. Okay? Look at that shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, dog, you're, bro, This is like an Asmongold S-tier body type, okay? Sorry, man.
Just look bad. They're unappealing. They're boxy. They don't look good whatsoever. But of course, that's what people are really...
Bro, every scene is worse than the last. Bro was defending her here, and look at this shit, bro. She has jowls, man.
Running with.
I don't want to, like, please YouTube remonetize me. I'm not insulting her immutable characteristics, because she could lose weight.
Okay, the images look really...
Listen, the padded shoulders are not helping. They're not helping at all. She looks like a coat rack, just with a double chin.
Underwhelming, to say the least. The only way you can tell Netflix slop from AI slop in the big 2026 is that Netflix slop has fat people in it.
Yeah, exactly. AI knows better. They wouldn't have given Azula jowls.
That's what they actually believe. And again, I look at this and I don't think that. I just think the outfit...
She is wearing like one of those fucking infinite compression belts under shit, okay? All right? She is wearing one of those corset things, okay? Get out of here. Miss
It looks terrible. It just looks really bad.
That's bad.
The production of everything looks really bad.
The background looks
But then again, looking at the overall picture, I mean, what do you say? They might be phenomenal actresses, but bruh, not even close. I mean, look at this.
Oh my god, dude, they're all fat. Bro, this is like fanfic production value. No, dude, no Fire Nation armor. Oh my god.
Are you kidding me?
Dude, look at this thing. Look at this fucking thing. She looks like a thwomp from Mario. Okay? Like I'm just being real.
They just don't even look right.
Bro, they put fucking hair on a dumpling. And they were like, yo, it's her.
They're just not good comparisons whatsoever. Like, no. This is not good whatsoever. But then, Netflix be like, Asians all look the same anyways, just hire whoever. Yeah, that's pretty much what they did. Again, it looks like a high school project. Doesn't look good at all. But it could have been HBO.
Oh my god.
Hey, it could have been HBO, ladies and gentlemen. It always can be worse. All right, so...
You know, honestly, sometimes worse is better. Like, there's more to make fun of.
Maybe we dodged a second bullet, an even greater bullet, with this one. But of course, Toph has arrived.
Oh, let's go.
Avatar: The Last Airbender, Season 2, is now on Netflix. And this is the introduction of her character, and I gotta say...
Wait! No! Is she standing in sand? She's standing in sand.
Is now on Netflix. And this is
They literally don't even understand these characters at all. They don't understand the character. It's like they never watched the show.
Introduction of her character.
Oh my god.
And I gotta say, she is Aurelus. And there's a lot about this scene.
A boulder has a thing for beating up poor blind girls.
That just generally makes no sense.
Bro looked constipated.
Right? They're even getting proposed notes. Alright? Saying, Toph
That's exactly what I'm saying!
Can't see in the sand.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Which is, yeah, a very big flaw with this scene. Because she seems to have no issue. It literally makes no sense, ladies and gentlemen.
Everyone's fat, by the way.
And the comments, brutal. There is no live action.
True!
Are they fighting in sand? Toph literally said she can't see in sand and it makes everything fuzzy. Did these people watch the show at all?
I mean, we all knew it was a red flag when the actual Avatar creators decided that they were leaving and they were not going to be working on this project. Like, that's a pretty big red flag.
Not gonna lie, looks like it was made with AI. 5,500
Yeah, we're
likes.
actually toppling the fucking regime.
So, you decided to have Toph fight on sand when early in the series, Toph hated sand because it nerfed her ability to see through her bending. Yeah, they don't really seem to know what they're doing here. It is a lack of attention to detail. Once again, you can see a quote here saying overcoming her fear of sand is part of Toph's character development and now she can just see in it.
The girl boss archetype. They don't actually learn anything. They were just awesome all along. You see, why develop and become better? Because that implies that you weren't perfect before. See, that is the true girl boss. Someone who is completely and utterly stagnant in everything, because she was always perfect. Her only flaw was not realizing how perfect she actually was.
And has already mastered sandbending, I guess. Imagine messing up the character lore in your adaptation so badly that it gets community noted. LOL, LMAO, even they removed the community note. This person had to edit because it was live for a second, but then eventually they got it removed. Netflix made the boss call, they set things right, and the note has been removed. But don't worry, there are the yuppies here to gobble up this series. Toph is so rude. LMAO. Now let's give this scene a listen.
All right, here we
Netflix, don't punish me. I'm gonna listen to just a very quick sequence here.
What's your name?
Toph. Beifong.
I just like your family greatly.
Yeah, well, me too.
What?
It's Dragon Ball Evolution.
What are we even doing, ladies and gentlemen?
Wow, Toph really cooked there. Cringe. Wow, she annihilated them.
And people are praising this? This dialogue reeks. It reeks, ladies and gentlemen. And you can see the comments. What the actual dog
Goy slot, baby.
crap is this? Why is Kyoshi there? Why the F is Toph in that library?
True.
It takes so little to impress Netflix fans. What the F is this dog crap dialogue, and what did they do to Toph? You are actual cattle if you like this. Yeah, what is going on? Another quote saying this is literally a bad fan fiction. Why is she in the spirit library? What is this Tumblr-esque dialogue, man? I dislike your family greatly. Who are your parents? Exactly. What is this scene even for? This is so lame.
And Hollywood is dying, and they can't figure out why.
Man. And here's another quote saying, why is Kyoshi talking to...
And the crazy thing is, they don't actually create anything new, because evil can't create. It can only pervert and contort. So these guys, they show up, all right? It's incredible. They show up, and they take the most obvious bullshit, the famous franchises, so that they could get big views right away, because everyone's gonna watch their favorite franchise, and it's just gonna be absolute shit every time.
Toph and asking her about her own reincarnation. What the hell is happening? Doesn't really seem to make a lot of sense now, does it? And here's another quote saying the Avatar fandom is large enough. We can actually donate money and sue Netflix. And hey, they want some help on that, a class action lawsuit against Netflix.
Yeah,
that sounds like an absolute banger to me.
Yeah, that's not happening.
But overall, this is a disaster. This looks terrible. We'll have to wait and see on how the reception of this in terms of viewers ends up being. But yeah, this looks very bad, low quality, and everything surrounding this right now is 90% people dunking on it, 10% brainless cattle just enjoying this product because they're supposed to. That's really all there is to it.
Yeah. Wow, holy shit. Like, I knew it was bad. I didn't realize it was this bad. And now we wait. And I'm sure people are going to start doing character analyses, because they butcher every character, too. It's not just that they make everything look like shit, because they're just cash-grabbing retards. And not only is the dialogue bland, but they reinvent things, right? They reinvent characters. They feel like they want to do better. They want to make the character even more of a girl boss than before. And honestly, and then everyone wonders why it completely collapses. But, you know, the go woke, go bro, it's pretty incredible. It really is incredible that they're still doing this. You know, you'd think they'd have learned their lesson, but they didn't. And it's really incredible how this entire ideology is cancer. It's cancer. It's eating them alive from the inside. And it is incredibly enjoyable to witness their collapse. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. A lot of people are mad about this. I'm just satisfied. Like, I prefer absolute dog shit failure to it's mid, people were okay with it. No. Either make something great or make it dog shit. That's right. I am an accelerationist when it comes to art. All right. I want the art to either collapse and fail miserably or be a resounding success. I don't want to see this mid garbage. So yeah, put a chick in it, make her gay. And that's exactly what they did to a generation of famous franchises, and they're losing everything because of it. They goy slopped too close to the sun, and their entire reputation is on fire. Anyway, that was all of the things. We covered everything from the war to Supreme Court, libtards and retards extraordinaire, all of the morons. Definitely subscribe. We have to surpass Ben Shapiro to become top Jew. I am currently demonetized on YouTube, as you probably are aware, because unfortunately I tell the truth and they hate that. So if you can support me on Patreon, that would be incredibly, incredibly appreciated. Everything helps. At this point, I am unemployed. Making videos every day, grinding it out, trying to tell the truth, and for free. We're beating stereotypes here every single day. So if you could subscribe, that would be awesome. If you could support me, that would be great. No pressure, but it is obviously incredibly appreciated because, you know, the situation. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.